Still says schedule. There you go. Now it's live.
There we go.
All right. Getting this thing together.
How's it going, Anthony? I haven't seen you in a while.
I'm very well, my friend.
Maybe
very well.
Since the Stallone stream, I think.
I think it was, yeah. I mean, I have only done one other video since then, I think. I really need to get my ass together and start doing some more. I've just become fucking lazy, I think. You know what I mean?
Are you ever going to become the next big YouTube sensation and make millions of dollars if you don't make videos every day like you're supposed to?
If you don't put in one every day, I mean, fucking hell. If I did that, if I didn't just do what I do, I'd have run out of content months ago. You know what I mean?
What you got to do is quit your job. It's the first thing. First step, quit your job, and then full time.
Make this your job.
Yeah.
What you want to get is like a bunch of ecstasy, whatever drug they have there, they'll put holes in your brain, and then you'll become the next big star. If you just start filming stuff, people will watch it. Trust me.
Yeah, it seems to be the way. You know what I mean? It's you watch some channels and you're thinking, my God, how they got subscribers? Some of these guys, you know what I mean?
What you need to do is also start reviewing titles like this. You go. So I got this title in Hotel Fear, directed by Francesco Pirelli. The story takes place in Italy towards the end of World War II, and just like you've actually watched it, but of course not.
But you've not even took it.
You can't watch it. You can't watch it before you review it. That's not how it works.
No, it's that is against the rules.
It's against the rules.
It's
hello, Holland.
Holland O's.
Holland, how's it going, man? We okay? I was when you sort of mentioned about doing a stream like this and about doing a Hooper stream, I was straight in there. I mean, I think this guy is severely underrated. People know his films, but probably there's not enough talk about some of the films that he did. So I think some people look back at the back catalogue of titles that TOBE Hooper did and sort of poo-poo it a little bit. You know what I mean? The guy deserves way more fucking stuff than he got. There's a couple of titles, and we'll have a look at some of the bit that'll probably pop up that deserve way more praise and way more love than they actually get.
Yeah, well, I can tell you for sure, this is your fault. We were talking about TOBE Hooper one night, and he's telling me all this stuff about these titles that I missed out on, and I had to check them out, and I really, whatever they call them, the B list, whatever people, the stuff people don't really, that's the stuff I really liked.
The unappreciated.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
Yeah, massively. I mean, if you look at his catalogue of work, I mean, there's some tripe in there, along with any other director. You know what I mean?
Everybody.
But the good stuff is good. You know what I mean? It's exceptionally good.
I'm unashamed to admit I was one of those people that thought he made TCM and TCM2, and he died young or something. I didn't even know he made other movies because he's so underappreciated, underrated. Nobody ever talks about him.
I was talking about Romero, Carpenter, Craven.
Yeah, so I've been watching horror movies for literally 30 years. That's the main thing I watch, is horror movies. Got like 1,000 of them. Never did I see any of the lower tier, quote unquote lower tier Hooper films. So just seeing those, going through them, that was where I got the idea. Let's do it, and so it's just been a lot of fun watching them.
Yeah. I mean, if you watch sort of any documentary that talks about him or talks about the films that he did, the one thing that you will get off everybody that speaks about him, everyone speaks about him in high regard. Everyone that's dealt with him said he was this like really weird little bearded guy that smoked cigars and drank Dr. Pepper all the time, and that's all he did.
He's from Texas, so Dirk will tell you that's the thing.
Yeah, he's from Austin for sure. See, I'm close to Texas, I mean, where I live, I mean, I can be in Texas in, 30 minutes. So, but Austin, Texas is a little different. Texas is its own little country almost.
Yeah, really. It is.
It's crazy.
It's the same size as a lot of countries in Europe or bigger. than a lot of countries in Europe.
It's probably bigger than the whole of the United Kingdom altogether. You know what I mean?
Could be, yeah. It takes days to drive across it.
Yeah.
Well, you just said then you've just done an 8-hour drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
In that 8-hour drive, where have you gone from and to?
From Tennessee to Ohio. So that's one state. So Tennessee, all the way through Tennessee, all the way through Kentucky, halfway through Ohio.
Okay. So you've gone through what, 2 states?
3 states, technically.
Three
two
states.
2.5. Let's say 2.5 states.
Well, so in 8 hours, I could go from probably the bottom end of the UK to the top end of the UK, and that's the entire country.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
It's not bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And you got those windy ass roads either. I don't even know. You guys have highways there? Or is it just all through? Oh.
Motorways that we call them.
Motorways, I see.
Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't matter anyway. Nobody's got a car, so it doesn't. Nobody goes to the other end.
Nope. There's no need to. You know what I mean? It's a whole European thing. You know what I mean? That it's just took you 8 hours to drive from one state to the other. If in 8 hours I can have flown to Spain and back twice. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
Hey Tony, how's it going, man?
Hey Tony, come on.
I was just talking to him a few minutes ago.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's Friday the 13th. It's about the only day you'll see me wearing it.
Yeah, you're not gonna see too much cold weather gear in Louisiana.
I don't know what it was. It's pretty warm today, though. I'm not gonna say hot yet because it's not August, you know.
Yeah.
Holland, they got the backwards roads over across the pond.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I mean we have infrastructures, you know what I mean? Like I said, we call them motorways. In Germany they were called autobahns, you know what I mean? We've got that big structure from getting to one place to another quickly. But like if you live where I live, you know what I mean, which is just a town just outside of Manchester, it's all small A roads and B roads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's no big cars. Well, there is big cars, but more people have smaller cars. Electric cars seem to be a thing here at the moment. You know what I mean?
They tax so how do they tax the electric cars? Because don't they tax the car by the liter?
No, road tax over here. So each car, you have to pay a yearly tax. So at the moment, our car is £30 a year for the road tax. But don't get me wrong, fuel's expensive over here. Fuel's a lot more expensive over here than it is there for you guys. You know what I mean?
For the moment.
Yeah, well, it's just hit around £1.60 a litre here at the moment, which is the highest I've ever known it as.
I think it's like $4 a gallon right now here.
Yeah, I've seen it 408 coming in a gallon,
which still isn't bad. A lot of people complain about that. I'm like, well, wait till it's $50 a gallon.
Yeah,
if we keep going with this electric stuff, they're not going to refine gas, and it'll be just like it is over there. They don't have a big draw for it, so the reason ours is cheap is we buy so damn much of it.
Yeah. Like I said, people have smaller cars here. You know what I mean? My car is just a little Suzuki. It's only a 1.2 litre. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I can drive to the moon and back for about £50. You know what I mean? It's
people will be going for that again here soon. They'll be buying when the gas prices go up, those little cars the prices go way up.
Yeah.
And you can buy an SUV or big truck for nothing when you can't afford to put gas in it.
Yeah, it's the same here at the moment. I mean, the bigger stuff's more expensive, obviously, because the road tax is more expensive.
Yeah.
And that puts some people off. And then the price of fuel is putting a lot of people off. So a lot of people will go for smaller cars, the hybrids. Hybrids are a big thing here at the moment as well. Yeah,
we have a registration fee that you got to pay just to keep your plate valid.
Oh, okay.
So, it's all the same shit. They're getting you.
Oh yeah, they'll get you anywhere they can.
Well, Dirk, you wanna start the countdown here? You want to do your number 5 first? We'll go around the clock here.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't have my true number 5. Not yet. I'm waiting on that 4K to be released.
Yeah. Let's talk about it then. That's fine.
That'd be the Funhouse.
But
I was torn between the Funhouse and TCM2.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
this is a little cheap release. I don't know. I got this at the dollar store, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, the Funhouse is man. I mean, you can see like it's like a how do you put that? It's just crazy concept. You put a monster mask on the monster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just everything about it. The carnival, the atmosphere of the carnival is just man. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's another one of those that's sort of outside the box. You know what I mean? The thinking of it was slightly outside the box. And again, I think that you'll find that with a lot of Hooper films, that you think you know the concept of what he's doing, but then once you watch it, we go, well, it's a good twist on it. You know what I mean? There's something about it that's a little bit different to what other people have been turning out. And I think Funhouse is a good example of that. It's bizarre though how that's getting a 4K release before a lot of his other stuff. Maybe that's an easier title to get hold of, a cheaper title to deal with. I'm not 100% sure, but it's an odd one that they've gone with that first.
Yeah, I know. Well, Scream Factory's doing the Funhouse 4K. They already had the rights to it because they just did the Blu-ray. So then now naturally the 4K. But you held up TCM2, that cheap edition you showed.
Yeah, this one.
That's what it goes for on Amazon right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I got this at the dollar store, man. For I think I paid $4 for it. At the dollar store.
Yep. Sell it for $35 on Amazon.
Wow. Yeah. Crazy. But yeah, the atmosphere and just there's some genuine creepy stuff going on in Funhouse, man.
It's
you know,
sleazy, fucking
the big fat people. Lady, you know. Yeah. I mean, it's just there's a lot going on with Funhouse.
It is not it's
you can see it influenced other people too, like Rob Zombie, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, if you watch House of a Thousand,
it's got his dirty dreadlock hair. You just feel it as he's watching it. He's just putting it back. He just he just loves that movie. You can tell.
That's like, I mean, we're gonna do spoilers, right?
For sure, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just saying, like that scene with the prostitute, you know, and Gunther. Just, it's like sleaze as hell. You know?
She's not a prostitute. She's a fortune teller who dabbles.
Fortune teller or carny
prostitution from time to time.
That's on the side, you know.
Yeah, that's not her. That's not who she is. Okay,
and
she's got the crystal ball and everything.
So did y'all interpret it the same way I did? I mean, he kind of like
early
ejaculate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine why. You know, I'm sure he's really a big time hit with the ladies with the double noses and stuff.
And that damn scream, man.
Yeah,
that
crazy berserker scream that he does is.
You gotta love it, man.
Yeah, it's a blast. People, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I didn't see it till recently. I don't know. Right. That's the kind of thing that
I've seen it.
That's my kind of shit.
Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid, man. Like I was probably, I don't know, 7, 8. You know,
what was that? I guarantee I know what it was. It was that bullshit cover art that they used, that poster art where it's a clown. Yeah. You know, there ain't no fucking clowns in the goddamn movie. There's not one clown at the carnival.
Right.
You know, it ain't that kind of carnival.
Yeah.
You know, it's there's not one clown in the movie. It makes no sense. The Scream Factory artwork is much more accurate, in my opinion, of the actual movie. The old Scream Factory Blu-ray art, which is this.
Yeah. I see the 4K release has gone lazy again and gone back just to the clown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, if that was the cover, I'd have seen it. I'd have pulled it at the video store for sure. But
I mean, I'm really tired of Scream Factory, though, man, to be honest.
I'm tired of their bullshit. I'm you know, not too many people are White Knight. I got, you know, real good friends that are big time diehard Scream Factory guys, Brian and Alan, and they're both like, it is bullshit. You know what the the re-releases. If you want to do some re-releases, hey, that's great. I'd like something. I like to upgrade to 4K certain things, but it's like one new title for every 15 re-releases they're doing.
Yeah.
Right now. I mean, what were there from January 1st to now? What were their new releases? Don't everybody speak at once.
Yeah,
I don't follow them really.
No,
I'm kind of done with them.
I couldn't tell you.
There's a movie called Cursed, which nobody asked for.
Yeah.
Wes Craven's horrible werewolf movie everybody hates. I will see it.
It's not the cut that
it ain't the
everybody
Craven
wants to
cut.
See. Yeah.
It's not the right cut, from what I understand. Nobody asked for it. Nobody gives a shit about it. And a brilliant release they did, Alligator. The 4K for Alligator. They did that this year. Now, somebody in the comments want to tell me, is there other new releases that Scream Factory's done this year? Because I can't think of any. They've done a shitload of re-releases. Cat People in 4K? Really? I mean,
they did thing that you sent me. One of you guys sent me, Sword and the Sorcerer.
Sword and the Sorcerer, that was a new one too.
Yeah,
that was a new one.
Okay.
But so, how many?
Let me read this comment right quick.
Okay.
Man.
Hall & Oates, Captain Spaulding's fried chicken and gasoline would be thriving right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All his characters would be right at home at the carnival.
Why don't you take your mama home some fried chicken?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. You gotta love it.
But yeah, I'm hoping they save their releases for Halloween or something. They got big surprises for us. I don't know. But if they have any rights to them, maybe it'll be the Halloween movies, the last, if they still got the rights.
Yeah.
I'd take that over nothing or over some other re-releases. But
there's got to be something big for me to grab something from Scream Factory. I will be getting the fun house. But.
Yeah, that's a cool one. Life Force is getting a 4K.
Yeah.
So
I'll probably grab that one too, for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Anthony, what's your number 5?
Right, I am probably the people that are watching, the people in the chat. As soon as I hold this film up, people are going to drop off straight away. I'll think I'm some kind of lunatic. But here we go. Number 5 for me, and it is Texas Chainsaw.
Whoa!
Wow.
Early,
right? Early. Yeah.
Straight going for the nuts.
Yeah. I have a love-hate relationship with this film. The thing about this film, and like we talked about before about video nasties, this film didn't get a physical release in the UK until 1998.
Oh, wow.
So that was the first time it was available on physical media. Now, don't get me wrong, there was bootleg VHSs going around of it and all kinds of things. But it was I remember seeing it quite youngish to a point, and then when it got the release in the UK, Channel 4 showed it on TV, and then it got a physical release as well. So I didn't remember much about it the first time I watched it, and I went back to it obviously with an older set of eyes and a different mindset, and I watched it. And again, I'm probably going to upset people now, but for the first half an hour of this film, fuck all happens. Like absolutely nothing. It's a snooze fest.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, right, okay, people banged on about this film for years. What am I missing something here? Because man, I could not get into it. The first half of this film just destroys me. How boring it is.
Mm-hmm.
But in typical Tobe Hooper fashion and style, it's shot beautifully. It looks fantastic. It doesn't matter if the characters are doing nothing. They're driving around in the buzz. You know what I mean? It's shot beautifully from inside the buzz. It's shot beautifully from outside. Every angle that you can imagine that a film director is going to shoot from is shot in this film. And the use of wide-angled lens in this is really good. Wide-angled lens and light is probably what sums this film up for me, but basically. But as much as I like it for the way it looks, as a film, it doesn't do a great deal for me. And I know people hang off every word of this film. People love this.
Yeah,
but
there's just
me,
not. I get what you're saying too. So yeah, I agree with the shooting. Every time I watch it, I realize how how ahead of his time he was, as far as the shooting goes and all that. And as far as a movie goes, there is no story.
No.
There's no story whatsoever. So I get exactly what you're saying, but it's not cinematic, I guess is the right word. It's just it is what it is. It was meant to be more mockumentary style. I mean, would you say, Dirk, would you think they were going for that almost documentary feel where it doesn't really have a story?
To me, I mean, I feel like it's the first like found footage film.
Yeah. Attempt at a found footage film, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so independent, because things like that couldn't be done. Like nobody'd ever seen anything like that,
Yeah, and it is low budget. You know what I mean? Of a budget, I think at the time this is 1976. I think there was a budget of $140,000. They made this film on.
Yeah,
it was. I think what was it? 60,000.
I think I heard 60.
Right.
So
60,000.
There was going to be there had to be some marketing too, probably. Right. So that might be where they got up.
Yeah.
But I don't know this for a fact. Dirk probably does, but I know it was shot on location. During that time, shooting on location was that's dirty. That's dirty. Shooting on location. No, this is Hollywood. We make movies at the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
But
and they were pulling 16-hour days.
Yeah, shooting on location's better today, but back then you wanted to be on a movie set. That was the cool thing. That was what professionals did. This is like guerrilla style, like low class, filmmaking.
Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's some stuff that's exceptionally good in it. You know what I mean? The first scene where she blindly dives out of the window.
Yeah,
that is fucking brilliant. There's no pause. There's no hesitation. The camera goes, runs, boom. She's out the window. And it's believable. You know what I mean? Because she doesn't think about it. She just fucking goes for it. Yeah. But then there's other bits in it. You know what I mean? There's other sections of the film. The bit where she's arguing about the flashlight with the brother in the wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, fucking hell, somebody just give her the fucking goddamn flashlight. It's awful.
You don't know who you hate more at that point.
Yeah.
When they're arguing,
and I just
it's like kill them both. And everybody wants
just have
Franklin to
fucking
die.
done with it.
Everyone wants Franklin to die, but it was like at that point, I'm like, kill them both.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. That's nails on a chalkboard for me, that scene. But
yeah, and it's done a little bit. The film as a whole is enjoyable, but the sections of it that just take me out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Take me away from it. And you sort of drift away while you're watching the film.
If you're looking at it as a film, which I don't, I get exactly what you're saying. You look at it as a cinematic film, which is what it is, but I don't look at it though. And you look at the actors that are not actors.
Yeah.
Nobody's
a star.
Yeah.
He just graduated film school. Everybody's, small actors.
Whatever he could get.
Right.
Without.
Marilyn Burns had to talk Gunnar Hansen into.
Yeah.
Playing that role.
He got Jim Seidow, I think his name is.
Jim
Cook.
Seidow.
Yeah.
Great. He's great. Yeah. The only real actor in it is the cook, and he acts and does a good job. But like I said, I know exactly what you're saying. It's not a cinematic. If you're a movie fan like Spielberg type stuff, this is not it. This is a hammer. It's gonna only do one thing. It does it really well, but it can only do one thing. It's not like a Spielberg movie's a Swiss Army knife. There's going to be horror in it. There's going to be comedy. There's going to be everything in it. This style of movie, it's very one dimensional.
Let me catch up with the chat right quick.
Yeah, go for it,
man. Brian, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hello, Brian. How's it going, man?
And then Holland saying hey to Brian. Did I miss what Brad thought about Poltergeist? No, we haven't been on too long.
I'm sure it'll come up at some point.
You're right on time. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You're not going to like Brad's thoughts on Poltergeist.
I don't know why you would think that. I don't know why you would. I don't understand that. But So anyway, Poltergeist is my number 5. My number 5 is a movie I never heard of before this. I'm glad I heard about it. Everybody I ever heard talk about it said it was horrible, it's trash, it's unwatchable. I liked it a lot. It's The Mangler with Robert Englund.
Yeah.
This movie it's a Stephen King adaptation.
It is.
You know, and it's got the Stephen King stupid ending that he has to bookend. He has to put on every movie where it's like it ends, but did it end? You know, kind of thing. It goes back and whatever. But other than that, other than the very end, I don't have a lot to complain about. To me, I had a lot of fun with this. Of course,
talking about that that part.
No, I don't even really remember that part.
You know,
I remember once the CGI starts happening, you're going to lose me pretty quick. Because this movie has an all practical machine that Tobe Hooper's sons actually built. They built the set piece, and it's actually shot in South Africa.
Okay.
They built it on set. It doesn't do anything, but it looks cool as shit. It looks like it could designed to rip people apart. But it takes place in a fictional Maine town. Shocker, Stephen King title.
King.
Yeah, and apparently the wealthy in the town have to sacrifice their 16-year-old virgin daughters to the machine to obtain wealth for some reason. Okay, so the story's pretty thin.
There's some plot holes. Yeah,
there's a little bit of I don't quite understand. It doesn't matter. You're in it for the gore. The machine eats several people at several different ways. It kills several different people several different ways. It's burning people. It's ripping their faces off. It literally turns them into laundry. I mean, Robert Englund's death in this is outrageous, and it's awesome. Tremendous gore, practical effects, no bullshit. Now, at the end, there is a touch of CGI in it, and it is 1995. So
it is kind of dated.
It's dated to say the least. So there's a point in this movie where you could turn it off and be very happy with it. But if you keep playing, you're probably not going to be too happy with it for everybody that's seen it. But the machine, I just don't. I can't say enough. The machine being real and them building a real machine is so refreshing to me because they'd never do that today. If they did, it'd be half cardboard and half green screen and all this shit. It's a real, honest to God, metal machine that looks like it works. But the machine is somehow possessed by a demon, satanic or otherwise. I don't know what happens, but basically what happens to start the whole thing off, a young girl, a virgin that's working at this laundry, gets cut. Her hand bleeds on the machine. It gets a taste for virgin blood and gets reactivated and just starts devouring people. So it makes perfect sense. It's totally so good could happen.
Oh yeah. It seems like there's something that was left out, you know what I'm saying?
They missed a beat somewhere. Like you don't quite know what's going on, but you can kind of see Robert Englund there in the background. He's got heavy prosthesis on to make him look very old. He's wearing crazy leg braces. He's got one eye. It's just he's doing like a strange, like, I don't know, Orwellian boss type act, and he's like a big time pervert too. I mean, he is having the time of his life doing this movie. I can tell you that much.
I think he's the best part of it.
Yeah. Ted Levine doesn't play the bad guy. Ted Levine plays the detective in town. Your typical tropey burnout detective that's seen it all and is tired of the job. He wants to leave this fucking town. He keeps saying it over and over again, but crazy shit just keeps happening to Ted. Like a refrigerator falls on him. Every time he turns around, he's having like an accident, and you just know he's going to fall into the fucking machine at some point. Just the way he behaves.
Right.
He's climbing through a window. He gets tied up on a coat rack. A bunch of shit falls on him. I'm like, does he not know this machine is ripping people apart? He's clearly a klutz, and he almost gets sucked into the fucking machine. Spoiler alert. But,
I can't get it out of my head either, man. Yeah, he's Buffalo Bill inside
He's
the
Buffalo
land.
Bill.
You know,
He's playing a detective.
Old Mr. Tucker, you know, like it's just I just can't get that shit out of my head.
Yeah. And it's a strange one, man. I'm not
Right.
just here in White Knight for it like it's an Academy Award winner.
Right.
But you got Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill, everybody knows that. He hangs out with his brother-in-law who does not work for the police force. He takes him around with him everywhere. Who's a professor of theology. And he's dressed like in a bad like Prince get up. He's got the Prince hair and he's got walking around with a trench coat. It makes very little sense. And he keeps like insisting that they ask all the staff if they're virgins or not. And Ted Levine is just going, "No, read my lips. We're going to go in there. You're not going to say a fucking word. I'm going to do all the talking." And then immediately, like right before they leave, by the way, are you a virgin?
Yeah.
The gore is surprisingly great in this.
Yeah.
You know, and it doesn't all come the way you think. Like, you know, like they come in the front of the machine or whatever, because it looks like it's its mount there. The machine does all sorts of things. It's a lot of fun. The practical effects, all that stuff. This is a really, you know, I wouldn't say it's super underrated, but it's a really fun movie, and it's not near as bad as people say it is. Let's just say that. But doesn't have to be the best movie in the world to be one of my favorites. So I like it a lot. Right. You guys seen The Mangler?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot more films that he's made that are really, really bad, man.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't. I mean, I could get through them.
Yeah.
But most people can't get through them. But I'm saying The Manglers, it's fun. Popcorn watch, you know.
Yeah. It's
turn
fun.
your brain off.
Turn your brain off. You want to see a gigantic industrial, like 200-year-old laundry machine rip people to shreds. This is the movie for you. You want to see Robert England dressed
Robert England is a scumbag in that.
Yeah, dressed like the fucking Monopoly guy, but with giant leg braces on, and a goddamn voice box in his throat, and old man makeup, like licking like a young girl's face and stuff.
Right.
This is the movie for you. Robert England talks very highly of this movie. You can tell he had a fucking blast doing it. You know, it's just the leg braces are not. I don't know what. I think I watched an interview where he said he didn't know what the fuck the point of the leg braces were, and he regretted it immediately because he had to wear those the entire time. They're uncomfortable, but I thought it was interesting. It's shot in South Africa. I would have never, you know, I thought maybe England. It looks like England, you know, but South Africa. They built the machine, and I wonder what the fuck happened to them. They just left it there.
It was sat in a field now, so South Africa's just doing nothing. You know what I mean?
But it's a good one, man. Anyone in the comments that hasn't seen it, you get to the part where they defeat the Mangler. They believe they defeated the Mangler, and they're all hugging. Just turn it the fuck off. You'll be a lot happier if you do.
Yeah, it's one release of Hoopers that I don't own. I think there is a Blu-ray of it in the UK. I'm almost sure there is, but I've never come across it anywhere.
I think I've never gone or something. I don't remember, but I looked into it.
It could be. It's not one that I've ever sought out or I've particularly gone looking for.
No, and nor should most people. I'm telling you, if you're a gore hound and you want to see some crazy stuff go on with the machine, this is it. But it's not the end all and be all. But I have fun with it.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you will find with a lot of his films. The good ones, the bad ones, no matter what it is, you will have a fun time with them. You know what I mean? It's even the bad ones are still enjoyable enough. You know what I mean? That you can sort of get through it and take something out of it.
Well, I keep harping on the ending. I think that the ending's important. I think that turned a lot of people off. And maybe they were having a good time up until that ending, where it's like, what were you fucking thinking with that? I mean, it makes not only doesn't make sense, but if it could have done that the whole time, why not do that the whole time? You know, the machine literally grows legs and rips itself off the floor and chases after people. Come on, but if you stop it just the right time, pretend the credits roll, it's a lot better.
Yeah, the CGI, man, and that is just
it's atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, I've just took notice down in the comments that Brian's just said the Mangler is available. Arrow have it in the UK.
Oh, okay. That's right. That's right. Johnny picked it up. I remember.
So let's have a look. It is. It's there.
I need to grab that one next time I can get it for a deep discount.
Well, that must be a new release. Has that all just come out, Brian?
Yeah, it's a new release.
Yeah, because he's going for £18 brand new.
Yeah,
so it must be
I remember Johnny picking it up and going crazy excited he got it.
The cover art on it is wicked.
It's crazy. It's a much better release than the Scream Factory release. But the price over here, that Mangler release, I think is like 27 or something like this. Right. This was very cheap, and it has the Robert Englund interview on it, which is really all I wanted. Right. So it's modern, not a like an old interview. But for what it is, it's a fun one. I'm glad to have it. It won't be. It'll stay for sure for me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
no, cool.
My number 4, again, I don't have it. It's on the way. I'm still waiting on my movies from the UK on that Arrow sale, but it's Eaten Alive. Yeah. Eaten Alive. Yeah. So, yeah, man, there's so much to love about that movie. I mean, you were saying it don't take place in Louisiana, but I thought it did.
It takes place in Far East Texas. Yeah, Far East Texas, right near the border, Louisiana, Texas. They say they're an hour from Tyler, Texas.
Texas, right. Okay.
So it would be you couldn't get anywhere in Louisiana from Tyler in an hour.
It feels like Louisiana.
Like Louisiana for sure. Yeah. But it's actually shot in California in Hollywood on a set.
Yeah, I mean, it just screams set. You know what I mean? Everything about the film screams. It's been filmed on a set.
The lights everywhere and stuff.
Yeah, it's you know what I mean. You're expecting runners to come past. You know what I mean? And lighting guys to be caught in frame. You know what I mean? It screams out set.
Yeah.
I might as well while we're doing number 4s and Dirk's picked it. I'll throw it up as well. It's my number 4 as well.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay.
But here in the UK, when it was originally released, it was under the name Death Trap.
Right. And Robert Englund, I think that's Robert Englund's first role, I believe.
Yeah, he's actually really good in it. He's only got a small bit of screen time.
Yeah. And that line, that line in there, he says, "I'm Buck and I'm here to fuck." You know.
Yeah.
They use that in Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And
that's the one.
It's like, man, because I hadn't seen it so long, and I watched it again. I was like, no shit, they stole that shit, man. And the whole cringy, the couple that come to the, you know what I mean? Come to the room.
Yeah.
Like the batshit insane dude.
Yeah.
and that's Marilyn Burns.
He just starts barking at Marilyn Burns.
Yeah. And
it's just like, I don't know. I need a little bit more information about that couple.
Right.
Other than them just showing up and they're having really bad problems. Apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
It kind of didn't make sense. Some of the stuff they were
kind
saying.
Of.
Yeah.
Well, the whole film just seems like a series of random events. It doesn't feel like a film. It's just throw some shit, see what sticks, film it, done. That's it. And I do like it, and it's got more fucking names than any other film I've ever come across. You know what I mean? It's got so many different names. It's untrue. You know what I mean? Yeah. Death Trap, Eaten Alive. I've had to write it down. There's that many. Horror Hotel, Starlight Slaughter, The Crocodile of Terror. There's fucking loads.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I've only known it by Eaten Alive. You know?
Yeah.
What's that guy's name? The lead, the crazy dude. So I found out some. Yeah.
The actor?
Neville Brand.
Neville Brand. So there's a backstory on that. I don't know if y'all knew this, but the guy was a bad alcoholic. And so they were saying that he thought, like, he didn't know if, like, one day he just woke up, is what Hooper said. One day he just woke up, he said, "Okay, I'm ready." So they had to detox him to work. But like his brain had like that what do they call it? Wet brain. So he was thinking what he was doing was real. Like it's so crazy listening to that interview. with
there's
Hooper
a
on that.
scene, and I really want to check out the special features.
Yeah,
but there's a scene in
he
Eaten
was hard to
Alive
work with, though.
where he takes the scythe and he hits a man in the neck with it. Sticks in both sides, all the way through his neck. Neville Brand looks appalled and confused. Like he's literally like recoiling. Like, and everything you're saying to me is like, I feel like it felt like he really thought he's killing this man.
Yeah.
Like the actor.
He was extremely hard to work with. I mean,
yeah.
He was kind of had that Dane Bramage.
His mania worked, that wet brain mania, that you believe he's fucking crazy. I mean, that dude it's just nuts, the stuff. And it's not over the top crazy like the Hitchhiker and Texas Chainsaw, where it's obvious, second one. But once you start, you get a little bit of talking with Judd, he's fucking, that's the killer, first of all. Yeah. And he's utterly insane.
Yeah.
And he has no problem with either of those two.
And he's very conflicted, too.
Yeah.
Like he hates the whores, but he wants to rape them. What are you doing, guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's good as well that there's no real backstory with him. He just is what he is. They didn't try to plant the story with him. They didn't do anything. He's just there, and he's a fucking lunatic. You know what I mean? But even the sheriff, were you stopping? Oh, we're stopping at old Judd's place. He's like, fucking hell. Is he still alive?
Is he still there?
Yeah. You know what I mean? So even the sheriff hadn't seen him in years, but didn't seem too worried about it.
No, and the brothel owner is
well, that's the one thing. The woman that owns the brothel, that is the worst prosthetic makeup I have ever seen on an actress in my life.
She's wearing like an old lady mask or something.
Yeah, it's just like a mask. Scooby-Doo style, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fucking
yeah. It's
but again, it's one of them films. I mean, considering Texas Chainsaw was 74 and this was 76, you'd have thought there'd have been a little bit of progression going on, but no, you know what I mean? It looks more low budget than what Texas Chainsaw did.
He got the studio release. He got the studio a lot he wanted,
and he had more money for that one. I mean, I can't remember exactly the number, but it was way more than TCM though.
He would have been better off if he just went to Louisiana or back to Texas. East Texas is like Louisiana anyway, and just found.
And the whole story, you got a crocodile.
Yeah,
I mean, like
there's no.
There's some big ass alligators over here anyway.
Yeah.
There's no reason for the crocodile. He's just got a crocodile that's come from South Africa.
Yeah.
He's got it living under his house in some swamp at the side of his house for no real reason. There's no story behind it.
Then it's just his pet.
It's his pet. And the only bit of backstory that you get is it's bit his fucking leg off. You know what I mean? That's it.
Well, he does say that it killed a mule. It chased the mule down and ripped it apart.
Yeah.
He's telling that story to the woman that's going to stay there, and he's just laughing, having the time of his life, describing this crocodile slaughtering a mule and ripping. He's had legs one place, head another. It's just he's just absolutely insane. There's no rhyme or reason to what he's doing, and everything goes over the railing at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, but again, it's one of them. It's a fun watch. Disengage your brain.
I could watch that over and over and over.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
Yeah,
I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed I didn't see it sooner.
Right.
Oh, it's a good film. It is a good film, and it looks budget. Yeah, you can tell it's been shot on a set. You know what I mean? It's screen shot on set.
Yeah.
There's no real characterization to anybody really apart from Judd. I mean, Robert England's character as Buck gets a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. These characters are.
He's a little cringy.
He's obviously the town asshole, isn't he? You know what I mean? And he's taking young women back there, getting them liquored up, taking them back there. You know
I think, in my opinion, with Hooper early, is you like Sally, and you kind of feel bad for. Again, Marilyn Burns' character in Eaten Alive.
Yeah.
So those are the only two characters in the movie that aren't cannon fodder, in my opinion. You want Franklin to die from the very beginning of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
Buck is is Buck. You can't wait
That's
for
the
him to die.
payoff. You know that's the payoff kill.
It's the payoff, exactly.
Yeah.
And the rest of the characters, they don't have much redeeming. You know, even the little girl, the child in Eaten Alive is the most annoying child
Oh God, unreal.
I have ever seen.
Just want to slap it. You know what I mean?
She can't. She's going crazy when the dog dies, let alone when the crocodile starts chasing her. Forget that. The dog gets eaten, and then she can't get. She screams for an hour about the dog dying.
Yeah.
So the sound is very important in that movie because they have these weird ambient noises going on in the background.
Yeah.
And there's the Grand Ole Opry music constantly playing loud as hell in there. It's just it's a stressful environment, and at some point you actually almost feel bad for Judd. Like, God damn, I got a bitch tied upstairs in the bed. She's making a bunch of fucking noise. I got a kid out there. The crocodile can't find her to eat her.
He's trying to get her under the house and shit.
I'm trying to mop up all the blood from this old man I just stuck in her neck with a scythe, and you know, and then the cops show up. I mean, I'm having a rough fucking day here. I'm just trying to make a living. You know, like you feel a little bit like somebody shot my leg up, my wooden leg.
Picking buckshot out of his leg.
There's a scene. There's a couple scenes, but there's one scene in particular when he goes up in his little living quarters. And there's a big like swastika on the wall and a rifle.
There's Nazi memorabilia all over when you look.
Yeah, and there's a rifle that looks like the rifle used on Kennedy, and he's just sitting there looking around, just. He's just like he's very happy to be crazy. Yeah, very content with it being out of his fucking mind,
and very conflicted. I mean, he hates the whores, but he wants to
somehow religious.
He wants them at the same time.
Very religious old country music. Yeah. But yet he's trying to rape this whore on the stairs. By the way, as he's screaming whore, he's trying to rip her clothes off. Whore.
Yeah. It's great though, man. It's some good
that's
shit.
where I use like when Johnny Walker recommended that movie to me. So if you haven't seen Eaten Alive, that'll be your favorite. You would love that movie. And he's pretty good with his recommendations. And I'm watching it with him, and I'm like, this is the most retarded fucking movie I've ever seen in my life. And I love it. That's the best way I can describe it, because people just keep getting shown up. Tony pointed out, people just keep showing up, and they keep going over the fucking rail right to the crocodile. This crocodile eats like 18 people.
Yeah.
When is it not going to? I mean, is there more than one? I don't know. Is it storing them for later? But sure enough, whenever he needs them, the croc shows up, grabs a head, rips it, pulls it underwater. Problem disappears.
And then you see go ahead.
Go on, man. Sorry. No, go.
And when you watch X, you know, like you definitely see the big head knots to Eaten Alive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, of course TCM, but you see it to Eaten Alive as well.
Yeah, I mean the again, for the budget and what they was doing, the actual scenes where you do see the crocodile, the crocodile's pretty good.
1976, you know not bad at all.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I quite like how you don't get a real full view of it. You only get it at sort of the top as it's gliding over the water.
Yeah.
You get its head to one point. You sort of get 2/3 of it when it's under the building after the little girl.
Yeah.
But it all looks convincing. It does look genuinely good for the time it was done.
Yeah, it's very dark and there's cobwebs everywhere. So it does work. I mean, somehow it works. You think a hotel owner has a giant pet crocodile murdering his guests? How's that going to work? Well, it works. Full length feature.
Yeah.
But we got a couple comments here. Brian goes, Blue, same features, I believe, as the Scream, just a more attractive case. And of course, Johnny's booklet.
Got the booklet. So when he's watching the movie, he can read about it at the same time.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to do.
Holland Oates, he hates that he loves them.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. You could say the same about me and slipcovers.
Yeah.
Love-hate relationship. Huh?
Yeah. Well, my number 4 is I don't have a copy for Running Theme, but I sold my copy because they just announced the 4K from Vinegar Syndrome, which I'll be getting. And I just grabbed a movie that I thought was similar to hold up, because apparently I can't talk about a movie unless I hold it up. And it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So I picked House of a Thousand Corpses because to me it reminds me of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And Rob Zombie, if you watch his movie, I've never heard him say this. Me and Dirk have talked about it. Anthony, if you watch Rob Zombie's movies, you'll know he's a gigantic Hooper fan.
Yeah.
I mean, Hooper is responsible. If you hate Rob Zombie, you better, curse Tobe Hooper because he's a big part of this guy's career. TCM is not anywhere near, to me, as far as the type of film. Let's put it that way. One's more of a comedy. One's obviously there's almost no comedy in it.
Yeah.
And two's got a lot more comedy elements to it, but there are a lot of really gritty scenes in TCM too that people kind of gloss over. Apparently, they show up at the radio station to confront Stretch because Stretch played the audio from their killing on the radio, and it's bad for them. Obviously, They don't want to draw attention. They want to continue to. The idea that people thought these were accidents is ridiculous. Is that how it operates in Texas? In the Texas area, when somebody's got their head cut off and there's chainsaw marks all over the car,
Accident.
It's a total accident. It's just a freak accident. It's like Hot Fuzz. It's a terrible accident.
Terrible accident.
But there's these accidents happening all over Texas, that seem to follow the chili cook-offs, of course. But they have a confrontation with these two assholes riding around shooting guns, shooting mailboxes and stuff. They play chicken with Leatherface and Bill Moseley's character, Chop Top. And obviously fuck with the wrong guys. There's this obvious scene, the scene everybody knows, where it's Leatherface holding up a dead body in front of him, kind of dancing. They shoot the dead body in the head. Yeah. They shoot the dead body in the head, and Leatherface's face is right behind it. Leatherface starts the chainsaw and chops him up, obviously. Yeah. Cuts half a guy's head off, and he's just there.
It's hilarious.
It's gory as fuck. He's trying to put his head back together, and it's insane. So those guys were on the phone with the radio at the time, and they, for whatever reason, Stretch says that they can't end the call. They have to hang up. That doesn't, any radio you get, they can't hang up the phone. They can't end the call. I don't get that, but whatever. So they have it all recorded, and Dennis Hopper comes in and convinces Stretch to play it and hopefully draw them out and draw attention to it. And they show up at her radio station, and it's textbook Tobe Hooper grittiness, dark shit there. Yeah. Chop Top Bill Moseley is scraping his own hair off. He's he has a coat hanger. He's lighting it up, getting it hot, and then scraping his own flesh off the back of his head and eating it.
That metal plate
around his metal plate that he has in his head.
He's irritated highly.
Yeah, and the way he's talking to her, you just know this is going nowhere good. And Leatherface shows up to chase her, but what I always think of when I think of that movie is when the male friend that also works at the radio station shows up, and Chop Top gets a hold of him, and he has about like a hammer you would use for probably birdhouses. He takes him down with a hammer. He must hit him 30 times in the head with it. As he's talking to him and going jumping around, he just hits him again with it, and he's flopping around like a fit. It is brutal. He just keeps hitting him in the head with that hammer. And I know people that grown men that can't watch that scene because it's just stop. They're like, stop hitting him. Stop. He might still be alive. Stop it. And he just keeps cracking his skull over and over again. And, Leatherface is chasing Caroline Ray. Is Caroline Ray? Is that her name? Caroline. What's her name? Stretch.
Don't know her real.
I don't remember her real name. She's done other stuff, but they don't get her. And the movie continues. Dennis Hopper's out for revenge. The insanity, the depravity. The cook is back, obviously. He's fantastic in it again. Dennis Hopper is the most useless hero in history. I don't know why he's even in the movie. Okay, you going to hunt a bunch of chainsaw killing freaks, killed and ate hundreds of people, according to you. Nobody else believes him. Only he believes it. What is he? He doesn't go with a machine gun. He goes to the fucking chainsaw store and buys 4 chainsaws to go hunt.
Yeah, he's thinking fight fire with fire, you know.
Yeah, fight fire with fire. I'll fight fire with a machine gun.
Yeah,
they have a chainsaw. I'll have the machine gun. And one of the greatest scenes in comedic scenes in history to me is when he decides to test those chainsaws in front of the old man that sells the chainsaws. And he's out there slamming it around like it's a sword, practicing like he's fighting them with it. And the old man is like losing his mind. He thinks it's the funniest thing. Yes, it is the funniest thing. A grown man, that is not how you use a chainsaw. It wouldn't do anything.
And they're sawing through 6x6s, you know, like there ain't shit, you know, like
he gets like a huge chainsaw you would use to cut redwoods when literally a handsaw would have done it, which is what he used it for. The ending, I mean, they go down into I could go on and on about it. I do feel it is underrated because it does get unfairly compared to, it should get compared to the first one, but they went a totally different direction. It's not even the same type of movie.
No, it's more dark comedy.
Yeah.
I feel
like.
Yeah, I mean, there was a sole reason behind that, and that's Cannon Films. You know what I mean? Cannon, that was one of the 3 films that Hooper was tied into to do with Cannon. And Cannon say you can make whatever films you want. We're going to sign you up for 3. You can make whatever you want, but one of them has to be a Texas Chainsaw film. So that's what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dennis Hopper was hot at the time. I get all that. Yeah. He was a big star. But it's like he is the most, and they put him on the fucking poster, which makes no sense. Like we paid $10 million for it, so I guess we got to use him. And he has very little lines. He doesn't do a whole lot, but he's yet the star of the movie. And
he's Dennis Hopper.
He's Dennis Hopper, so he's got to be involved and everything. And there's another pretty serious. The man who's getting hammered like 1 million times survives somehow. They haul him away because it's fresh meat. Like Bill Moseley's patting his stomach and said, "Look at all that meat." Of course, they're going to haul him away and eat him. And Caroline, I can't remember.
Caroline Williams.
Williams, that's it. She ends up down there with him, and turns out he's alive. Leatherface has already ripped his face off, and he put it on Caroline Williams for some reason.
Yeah, man.
He's looking at her with no face, and she's got his face on and his cowboy hat on. And the guy's spitting all the time. Even without a face, he's still spitting.
Yeah.
It's just it's insane. You get Grandpa back, and this time you get Grandma too.
Oh yeah.
Still somehow alive up there, or it was moving, it seemed. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense. Just watch it. Caroline Williams, she beats Bill Moseley. Well, Bill Moseley falls. Doesn't look like he's dead, but he falls into a hole, and then she's dancing with the chainsaw like Leatherface in the first one.
She lost her mind, kind of like I felt like it was a nod to Sally.
Yeah,
losing her mind, but
yeah. So it is what it is. It's a have fun type movie, in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to the 4K because I've always had fun with it as a kid. I know Vinegar Syndrome is going to do crazy artwork for it.
Yeah.
That's one thing about the Arrow release. It's kind of a little bit bland, the artwork that they chose for the Arrow release, which is what I had until I just sold it. By the way, I took it to USPS to send it, packed it up. Different USPS than I normally go to. They took the thing from me and tossed it like it was a Frisbee, probably 15 feet into a bin, like it was just a Frisbee. And I went, what are you going to do? You're going to complain? You can complain. What is that going to do? You can't get fired from the USPS. Nobody wants that fucking job. This person shows up. So, this person shows up, so she can't be fired. I just went, I packed it like this was going to happen. I prepared for this. Just wait for my 5-star review.
On the
Brian, he said, Brian goes blue. Send me that 4K before the rest of the peasants. Vinegar Syndrome.
Brian's a subscriber. If anybody hadn't,
Yeah, you didn't know.
So he gets them before us losers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 4, TCM2.
What were we gonna say, Tony?
It's the other thing was as well is the slight nod to the 80s thing of the promotional picture that they did. I think it was used of the Breakfast Club. Yeah, I mean, that is fucking brilliant. You know what I mean? Whoever actually came up with that, superb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why Gunnar Nelson didn't come back to play Leatherface again. I think I was talking to Johnny about it, and he's like, "Yeah, he didn't want to get typecast." I said, "A 300-pound, 6'4" guy didn't want to get typecast as a guy in a mask."
Yeah.
But like I was saying earlier, Marilyn Burns had to talk him into that.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
I heard he was a good writer, and he had more talents than just being a big goon. Hell of a runner on him, being 3 bills, and he does a lot of running in that movie.
Yeah,
you know, kept up with Marilyn Burns, and the lungs on her. You know, she could run for hours.
Yeah,
no doubt. I got
great screamer too.
Yeah, man. Like
she screams the whole fucking movie.
She don't get talked about enough. I mean, especially at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, she should be up
you
there.
Believe her. You believe that she's scared out of her mind. That's for sure. In the
batshit crazy. Because see, when I first see, well, I'll go into that later. My bad. But yeah, my number 3 would be Salem's Lot.
Nice.
And yeah, man, when I first seen this, I was pretty young. That window scene in that movie.
Yep.
I mean, it really screwed me up. Like, because I had to go to bed, and I was like, and my bed was by a window, you know.
You never seen a floating undead 12-year-old?
Yeah, I kept looking out the window. I was like, yeah, you know, I guess when you're a kid, everything's intensified, you know, your imagination. But there's so much I could say about Salem's Lot, man. I mean, I still want to see the 4-hour cut. You know, there's supposed to be a 4-hour cut to that.
I didn't know that.
And yeah, I think it was 100 minutes for TV, made for TV.
Yeah.
But I could just imagine what's in that 4-hour cut, you know. It's
been a full-on miniseries.
It's also my favorite vampire movie across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely is it Barlow?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, definitely looks like they took it from like some ideas from Nosferatu.
Yeah, you know? the actual vampire definitely looks like a Nosferatu kind of clone.
Yeah. And, yeah, it's just the whole mood,
the town, you know.
The
and it's obvious from the beginning that it's a vampire they're going to go get.
And it gets you know, a lot of people shit on it because they're like, it's a TV movie. But TV movies back then were different, man.
It with 1990s It was a TV movie.
Right.
Yes.
That worked out.
Yeah, brilliantly.
But I mean, TV movies back then were, in my opinion, done just as well as a lot of theatrical releases, you know.
Yeah, man, it's a good one for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even. The realms of doing TV movies for him wasn't a new thing. He did quite a few. Did you? I think you might have mentioned it, Brad. I'm Dangerous Tonight. That was directed by Kino.
Kino just put that out. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, that's another. That was a TV film that he did. So he was no stranger to doing TV films. But the thing that always got me about Salem's Lot was I remember seeing it in my local video rental shop, and the box was always fucking massive, and it was on 2 tapes.
Yeah.
So the whole of the film was across 2 tapes, and that's the first time I can remember coming across that. I'd never seen that before when we was renting VHS, and that's the first one I ever remember seeing that came across 2 tapes.
Was it longer than the 100 minutes though?
I don't know. I'm not 100% sure.
Because I think that's the only one I've seen. I haven't seen the.
It must have been longer because they could have got 100 minutes onto a VHS.
Yeah.
So to split it over 2 VHS, it must have been a longer cut, yeah.
Right.
Some really effective stuff in there. You know, when he digs up the little boy. I don't know if he hears something or he has a feeling. Digs up the little boy, opens the casket, and you know what's coming, but it still fucking gets you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way he sits up and just goes right into his neck, it is shot really, really well, and there are some really effective scenes in it.
Right. I think
we're back to what it is, and then when they're in the basement, and she's got her back to the crypt. He's got his back to the crypt. The kid has his back to the crypt, and you can see them starting to crawl very slowly towards him. Yeah. And you're just literally going, really, really, kid? You're just going to turn your back to a crypt full of fucking undead people? And the kid, it's just really creepy as they're very, very slowly coming up, and just at the last second, he gets warned.
Hooper said he had to make it true to the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, he said there's a 4-hour cut of it, but
yeah.
Somebody needs to put that one out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm surprised no one has done.
I would watch it in 2 nights. Don't get me wrong. 4 hours is kind of hard to sit straight through 4 hours, you know. But definitely would like to see that.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely.
Y'all caught up on the chat?
Wait. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Anthony, what's your number 3?
My number 3, this sort of kicks off now what you'd sort of expect from me. My 80s nostalgic nerdness overload comes in now. And the 3, it's difficult for me. These 3 films, any one of them could have been number 1, really. So I love all 3, sort of similar. I did narrow it down. But all these 3 were big hitters for me, and especially growing up. And the first one will be Invaders from Mars. Sci-fi, sort of child-friendly horror, child-friendly sci-fi, sort of a family kind of film in a way. It is oddly shot. It's not like a lot of his other films. It's CG heavy, like early CG. And to be fair, I mean, this is what 85. I think this is 86. Yeah. The CG's pretty damn good in it.
Yeah, still holds up to me.
It still holds up really well. The costumes of the alien creatures in this. Stan Winston came in to do these.
Right.
It's absolutely brilliant.
Awesome.
I mean, if you look at a sort of an alien or a child's perspective on an alien, it's probably what you got with what Stan Winston did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole story starts off, and you the first 15 minutes into this film, it screams Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Everything about it.
Right.
Yeah, and then from sort of Invasion of Body Snatchers, you're getting this whole 1950s B movie vibe about everything, and I think that's the way that he wanted to go with it. That's the line he went down. I mean, this is a remake of a 50s film anyway.
Right.
It's again, it's one of those 80s films that product placement wasn't an issue. It's fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? Quaker Oats, Pepsi, you know what I mean? Dr. Pepper, it's everywhere, all over the shop. And I think as the film goes on, it gets slightly odder and crazy coming into the end.
Right.
And what you've got is everyone believing what this young kid says. I don't think there's anyone that questions him going, no, kid, you're completely wrong here. You know what I mean? Yeah. The school nurse that he befriends, she believes him wholeheartedly. Yeah. They go see the military, the fucking general of the military believes him straight away. And you go, hold on a minute, this is just some kid. But
ask a couple questions here first.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what is it?
No, I'm just saying the military.
Okay.
Yeah.
Questions.
Yeah. The only question the young kid asks is, "Can I see the back of your neck?"
Right.
And willingly, everyone just goes along with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
you gotta love Nurse Ratched too. That's what I know her as, Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yeah, it's
the teacher or whatever.
Yeah, she's the teacher. I can't think what her name is in this, but she's obviously one of the first to go as well because she's gone collecting frogs. It's frog week at school.
Yeah, she was a bitch anyway.
She was a bitch anyway. Yeah, they made her even worse. She's gone collecting frogs. You know what I mean? For Frog Week, they're going to dissect frogs. So she gets done because she's gone over the hill. His dad gets taken over because he's gone over the hill. He's taken his mother over. So and one by one, all the most important people of the town, they're all being mind controlled. And it's one of those films. It does hold up. You know what I mean? The acting doesn't. I mean, the acting is absolutely terrible in it. I mean, this young kid from start to end, you want to punch him in the face. He's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
But the reason he got this is because I think it was his mum.
Yeah.
I think his mum was a producer on this film.
Karen Black is the school nurse.
Yeah.
And that's her son.
Yeah.
His name is Hunter Carson.
Hunter Carson, that's him.
Yeah.
That is it.
But yeah, that tripped me out too. I didn't know that. I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's weird. And
it shows though with his acting skills, they're not the greatest.
Yeah, you notice straight away, and especially on a decent copy like this, is the overdub on him is unbelievable. You know what I mean? The sections where he's delivering lines and his fucking mouth's not even open. You know what I mean? Whether they brought somebody else in to voice acting at certain points or what, I don't know. You know what I mean? But the kid's dreadful in it.
Oh yeah.
And there's a couple of things that stand out. The boiler room scene, when they're in the boiler room and the big drill comes through the floor and the two police officers coming down the stairs, that boiler room is fucking frightening on its own. If that boiler room was just the sole thing of the film, that would be a kid's nightmare. There's a dirty old bed down there. There's some chains on it. You know what I mean? There's two furnaces. One of them's knackered. One of them's got still burning. I think there's some like low cut porn on the wall, and you're going, "What the fuck? Who's been down in this boiler room in this school?" But he goes down there to hide out the way of everything, and you know what I mean? Everything about it is what I love about an 80s film like this. You know what I mean? You can't go wrong with it. Apart from, and again, spoiler heavy, the ending. The ending really lets it down. Until that point, it's an enjoyable film. It really is. The ending, fucking weird. Doesn't make any sense. There was no reason to put an ending in like it was. You know what I mean? It's a dream, or it's not a dream, or is it a dream? It's like it
or
doesn't
did the
work.
aliens get you? Are you in the? Did they get to you? Type of thing.
Yeah, the ending just doesn't work on it at all. But I love it, you know what I mean? And this again was one of the three that he made for Cannon. You can tell this is a Cannon film, you know what I mean? Cannon threw money at it.
Yeah, he had a big budget on that one.
$12 million. You know what I mean? Back in '86 to do a film like this. I mean, Cannon weren't frightened of spending money. It didn't matter what they got for it, you know what I mean? But they weren't frightened about spending money.
Right.
So that's Invaders from Mars, but I'll show you how much of a fan I am of this film. A few of you, if you watch my channel or you've been in these streams before, you've probably seen this before. But I've got an original video shop poster, 26 by 16 of it.
Oh wow!
Oh man!
So that's the original promotional poster from '86 that would have been in video shops. It's a good film, you know what I mean? And I think it's one of those kid-friendly horror sci-fi films that sort of gets neglected and forgot about. And it shouldn't, because if you show this to any kid, they would love it. You know what I mean? It is really good. Right.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of like with Stan Winston's, creatures and everything. I go right back to the 80s when I watched it, for sure.
Yeah, the other good thing about it as well is the score. The scoring is fantastic. I don't know who scored the film, but it is great. You know what I mean? It is really, really good. But the other thing that you'll see as well in it, that when he comes back from school and the front door is open and he walks in the house and he's looking for his dad and he can't find his dad. And he can't find anybody. You know what I mean? It's like the Mary Celeste in there. The TV's on for some bizarre reason. So he kneels down in front of the TV and Life Force is playing on the TV.
Oh, damn, I didn't notice it. So if he's got him from school, it's about 4 p.m. in the afternoon.
Life Force is on. Right on.
What's her name's running around butt naked for an hour?
Yeah.
The entire movie. She never put clothes on.
Yeah, Mathilda May. Yeah. Yeah, so, Invaders from Mars is my number 3.
Awesome.
Well, we talked about this before, but this is my number 3. It's the Fun House.
Okay.
Now, this is going back. I'm going to get the 4K. I just picked this up. I watched it on Shudder. Cody Montana told me that this scan sucks. The release sucks. Whatever. He's hoping for a better one with the 4K. I'm going to upgrade to the 4K anyway, but any thoughts keeping this one out the window? But again, the artwork is
artwork's cool on there.
Much better than the new Scream Factory artwork, which is the old poster art.
Yeah.
But basically, this movie's about a double date. They go to an old carnival. They decide that they're going to stay overnight in the fun house. There were some concerns about the carnival because the prior town it was in, some people went missing, and, about the same time the carnival was there. But they're going to stay the night in the fun house I think they're fresh out of high school is what they're playing. Very young college age. And the carnival, it's not about the final girl or the Hooper's movies. It's never about the cast. To me, it's never about the victims. It's about the killers.
Yeah.
The cast members are forgettable as hell. I mean, look at this fucking guy.
Yeah.
But it's about the cast, and for me, it's all about the carnival. This movie. We've said it earlier. This carnival is Rob Zombie's wettest fucking dream ever. From the fortune teller, who's like half a prostitute, to some lady in Brooklyn acting like she's from Brooklyn, acting like she's from Transylvania. The vampire magician that's kind of a comedian too, very Rob Zombie like. To the live animal freak show with real freak show animals with like 2-headed cows and stuff. You just don't see shit like this anymore.
The belly dancers,
the belly dance, just a straight up strip club under a tent at this carnival that turns into a brothel after hours. Just a bunch of men in there picking out, bro. It just makes no sense. But where were these carnivals when I was a kid? That's all I want to know. I was hanging out in the fucking arcade when there was a whorehouse around, apparently. But the best part of all of it to me, and the standout role, was the carnival barker. And he's playing 3 or 4 separate versions of a carnival barker. He's in front of different things. It's the same actor. I wrote his name down here somewhere, but he not a super well-known, but a character actor. He's the standout for me. But it's about the characters. It's about the carnival barker had a son who was apparently some kind of berserker mutant freak who's pictured there with the mask. He wears that mask so to cover his face. He wears a mask and gloves to cover his face and skin because he's a heinous, hideous monster of a creature who can barely talk.
Drools all over the damn place.
Drooling, disgusting rape monster. It's insane, but yet he's very fragile. He's very high strung and very fragile. Whenever his dad, he calls him dad one time and gets his ass beat for it. Don't you ever call me that? And he's like, he's constantly apologizing to him. Listen, you kill these people like I ask, and I'll take you fishing. It's just, so what happens basically? They're Gunther. Gunther. They hide in the fun house. The 4 teens, after seeing the carnival, smoking a bunch of dope, and they're fooling around in the fun house, and they witness the berserker, the freak, paying the fortune teller $100 to have sex with her. They barely get started. Immediately, it's finished, and he kind of wants his money back. is what he doesn't quite say that, but he closes the door. They get in an argument. She gets electrocuted. He breaks her neck. She dies. But the people that are hiding in the funhouse are seeing it happen. They saw him get the money for her to pay her and saw there was a bunch more. They steal the money. Carnival Barker comes in, finds the body, and basically discovers that the money's gone. He's beating the hell out of the berserker, the freak. He's beating the hell out of him, trying to get him to tell him where the money is. And he takes his mask off in this great reveal and screams. And it's just a guy wearing a mask, but goddamn, does it work?
Yeah.
You're like, oh my fucking God. Thank you.
That damn scream, right?
Yeah. He's howling. And just imagine being the people upstairs watching this going, what did we just fucking do? I just want to go home. I don't care anymore. Forget this shit. I'll never smoke weed again. But so the Carnival Barker obviously discovers that they're there, figures out that's obviously where the money is, knows that there's no way in and out from where they are. And he tells them, you're going to have to come out sometime and we'll be here waiting. And basically sends the freak after him and convinces the freak that they're going to get to go fishing afterwards, and he's just going to have to kill these people. And he tells them, I'm not asking you to do anything you haven't done before. We all know you've done it before. I've cleaned up your mess before. And they have a very weird relationship. The kills are fun in this. The freak just basically just uses his bare hands. You know, this girl tries to convince him that they can be together. And
damn ventilation, right? Ventilation.
Yeah, and the ventilation duct. And he just she stabs him in the back, literally. And he just takes his hand, just starts running it through her face over and over again. I mean, it's ridiculous, but the Carnival Barker backs into a sword. I mean, it's just nuts. Everything that happens in it. The set pieces are great. It's a real fucking carnival. I even like the opening credits. I sit right through the opening credits. It's got all these weird carnival, like animatronic creatures. It's a fucking blast. Ashamed again that I hadn't seen it sooner. It was that fucking cover that kept me from renting it all those years with the stupid clown on it. There's not one fucking clown in this movie, and there's a big fucking clown on the cover. If it had that cover, I'd have rented it for sure. But the freak, the final showdown with the final girl, who, by the way, shows her shit in the opening. Tobe Hooper just loves doing that. You got a chick in this movie? You're taking your clothes off. I got news for you. Yeah, but I'm the hero. I lived through it.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You're taking your clothes off. Her little brother plays a prank on her and acts out the psycho scene with his own sister in the shower. Like, what? But the little kid ends up there, but for no reason, because he's immediately captured, and they just send the kid home. They don't even bother with the kid. It's a carnival, so runaway kid, it happens. They run away and go to the carnival, and they just send them back, and her parents are there. I couldn't say enough about this movie. It's a lot of fun. You don't give a shit about these characters, and nor should you. They're cannon fodder for the freak to kill.
Yeah.
But it's a good one. Like I said, Rob Zombie owes his whole fucking career to this movie, in my opinion. And if you haven't seen it, wait for the 4K, because Cody Montana says that this edition sucks.
I got a comment from Brian. Brian goes, blue. Funhouse is great. Curious if the 4K will look much better. I thought the blue looked heaps better than the DVD did.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so.
You never know. That's Cody Montana told me that. I haven't seen it yet. I'm sending it back to get the 4K. Cody likes to be dramatic. So who fucking knows? Take it for what it is. But if it was me, I'd wait for the 4K.
Right.
Excuse me.
Well, I guess my number 2 is going to be, and it's, it's debated. People debate it all the time. If, whatever. He was there every day. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
He was there every day. He was the guy he was the man on the scene. Yep. He was big into special effects. So my number 2 is Poltergeist.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, while we're going down that route then, my number 2 is Poltergeist as well.
Right. Okay.
And my
what edition is that? Which one do you got?
That is the collector's edition of the trilogy.
Oh wow. Okay.
So all three on that one.
I've seen it had a slip. Mine don't have a but I mean, I got them all three of them, but
yeah.
But there's not a real good release of that, is there? I mean,
not a US, not a boutique
there's
release.
There's not in the UK. I mean, that collection like that I've got is the best I can get here.
That's pretty cool. I like that. But yeah, I mean, the Poltergeist, you know, I know it's highly debated. Like Steven Spielberg wrote it, his storyboards and everything. Well, Hooper, you know, made those shots happen. He brought those shots to life. And Spielberg, you know, he was working on E.T. at the same time. And speaking on that, he wanted Hooper to direct E.T.
Yeah, he did.
You know, and
there's a lot of controversy involved in that because Steven Spielberg had a contract to do E.T. at the time. So Steven Spielberg could not direct. That was the contract that said you cannot direct prior to this. Your next directed feature has to be E.T. That's it. The story goes. Now, I don't know how true it is. I don't care how true it is.
Right.
But Hooper was brought in as a kind of a beard for Spielberg because Spielberg wanted to do Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Before E.T. He was passionate about this Poltergeist story. He did the story. He did the script. He did the storyboards. He did he produced it. His production company made it. But he couldn't direct it on paper because he had a paper contract that said he was not allowed to direct any feature before he did E.T. So that's the story. Now, is that true? I don't know. But every shot you see of Spielberg on set, Hooper's right next to him.
Right.
So
he's there every day. Like Spielberg wasn't there every day.
Yeah.
Also, I definitely can see Hooper like in some of the scenes, like the scene where the guy goes into the bathroom.
Yeah,
yeah, and he's
he's like clawing his face. I mean, that's Hooper, man. I mean, it screams Hooper. Now the family dynamic and all the story, definitely, I can see it's Spielberg. But.
Yeah, it's Spielberg. The special effects, like I said, the family dynamic of it, it's definitely Spielberg. But there is certain sections that just scream Tobe Hooper through it.
Right. So I say it's both of them, but seeing that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he got an award for it. He got what is it? Saturn. No, he got a Saturn nominee.
Right.
Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films in '83. But I consider it a Hooper.
The casting, to me, is definitely not Hooper.
No.
Whoever cast it, Hooper would not have cast those people. So it's debatable each way. There's all different ways you could spin it. There are some dark elements. I mean, a fucking tree eats a kid in like the first 20 minutes or so. So that seems like Hooper.
And the scene with the, those were real skeletons.
Yeah.
In the swimming pool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I say, but
can you guys see that all right? Can you go full screen on me, Dirk?
Yeah. I think so. How do you go full screen?
If you hover over Brad's bit and you see the 3 dots.
Hit that and then solo view.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to play this. This is Exhibit A. You don't have to see it very clearly. It'll focus enough. This is the end of Poltergeist. Yeah, he's throwing the TV out. They've had enough fucking TV. So watch very carefully here. We're going to pan back slowly. Nice little score, family atmosphere. Families all together, nobody died. Wait for it.
Right.
I think that says a lot to me.
Yeah.
And if this was a court of law, I would be demanding the case closed.
Yeah.
Right. Tobe Hooper is not first.
Right.
Steven Spielberg, real big on it.
Right. So, but it does say at the very beginning, though, it says directed
Tobe Hooper.
By Tobe Hooper.
Yeah.
So.
I think a lot of the documentary stuff that was done for it as well didn't really help. You know what I mean? Because if you watch a lot of those documentaries, Tobe Hooper's nowhere to be found on a couple of them. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's it's wrong in so many ways, and you know what I mean. The blowing smoke up, and I love Spielberg. Don't get me wrong, I really do love Spielberg, but the blowing smoke up his ass for a film that was never really his. You know what I mean? And he knows it wasn't his.
You know, Spielberg gets a lot of real positive. You know, he's done a lot of great things. Don't get me wrong, but this is the guy who wanted to distance himself from Jaws after he shot it.
Yeah,
this is the guy who thought the Jaws was going to be fucking terrible. So he don't know everything. He's not infallible. Steven Spielberg II. So it's a horror. You know, did Steven Spielberg help out? Sure, he did. He's Steven Spielberg. He had pointers, ideas, whatnot. But
yeah, because I've heard that there was a version that you know, Hooper brought in.
Yeah,
and Spielberg pretty much tossed it.
It's edited by. It's actually edited. They edited it by Steven Spielberg's guy. Edited it. Right. The guy he's used many times before.
So I'd like to really see Hooper's cut.
Like Hooper's version of it might be different.
Right.
It probably would be different. Be darker for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd love to see that. You know,
it's like an all-time classic. So I doubt that we'll ever get another cut of it. But if they ever do a 4K release, which why don't we have that? I don't know, but you would hope that it would have a director's cut by the director. You know, with what he wanted in it.
A Hooper box set.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I'm surprised nothing's ever been put together. You know what I mean? It's even the 3 Cannon films. I'm surprised they never came in a box set. You know what I mean? It's.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I don't think there's one drop of blood in the movie other than that one's hallucination scene, and I don't know that there was any blood there either. You know, you got.
Yeah,
it's not really blood. It's like plasma looking stuff all over them. You know, when they come through from the other side. You know,
it's just Brian asked earlier my thoughts on the movie. It's not for me. It's not my kind of movie.
Right.
You know, the Funhouse. That's my kind of movie. You know, it's just I watch it. There's no jeopardy in it for me. The kid gets a tree fucking tries to eat a kid. They pull the kid right out of the tree's mouth. Okay. Then the tree gets sucked into fucking space. All right.
Well, I guess nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah, man. I didn't see it when I was young at all. I didn't see it.
And Poltergeist to be, man, that clown. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things about
the clown movie. Is very, very creepy. But the little boy gets attacked by the clown. The arm's going around his neck.
Yeah.
And then the kid rips the fucking clown apart.
Yeah.
The little kid beats his ass. It didn't even take an adult. Right. I mean, it's just like the little girl gets sucked into the walls or whatever, and she's there the whole. There's no jeopardy for me. It doesn't work. But I get why people love it. I understand that. If you're a little kid watching that, shit, that's gonna stick with you for fucking ever. That fucking tree. Who in the hell? That tree was. It's just sitting there. It's just a tree outside the window. It's creepy looking as fuck. And sure enough, the tree tries to eat kids. So.
And I could almost bet money that was Hooper. You know, that tree. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. I get it. Maybe somebody knows, but that just seems like him. You know.
Yeah. But you get into the paranormal stuff, you know, it's almost like Ghostbusters. They call in like the paranormal people, and then they're setting up equipment everywhere, and it's got a lot of. It just reeks of Anthony to me. I'm sure
man. It's like Duke said. It's nostalgia, massive nostalgia.
Yeah.
And you speak to anybody that's sort of same age as me, and you talk about horror, and I guarantee Poltergeist is one of the 5 films that they mention. Definitely.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you was brought into it at an early age. You probably saw it a little bit younger than you should have done. But that was okay because it was overhyped or overrated at the time. And you watch it back now, and it's just the whole nostalgia thing is what keeps me going back to it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, there must be something to it that my wife will sit down and watch that film as well and enjoy it.
My wife,
as much as I will.
She don't watch most stuff I watch.
Yep,
that's her favorite movie though.
Yep,
you see what I'm saying? It's one of them things. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
it is pretty timeless as far as sort of that sort of big budget.
And I remember that when the TV
goes, it's
when the TV fizzled out after the
Yeah.
national anthem. I don't know how it was in the UK.
Exactly the same.
Same thing.
Yeah.
It was like they played the national anthem and then then it faded out fuzzy. That was creepy as hell. Like you just get sucked into a TV. They're here. All that, man. It's so much to it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What's your number 3, Brad? Hold on, I got a couple of comments.
We're on number 2.
Yeah, number 2's.
Oh yeah, number 2. Hold on. Brian said only the best for Mr. Montana. He's talking about Funhouse.
Yeah, what Cody has to have, if there's an edition that's 6 inches thick, he has to have that
pristine one.
Premium edition. He likes them thick.
Right. I have a pretty cool digibook that Warner Brothers put out for Poltergeist. Transfer is great, but should get some boutique treatment.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm surprised no one's had a go with it. You know what I mean? One of the bigger boutique companies.
I mean, that would sell it'd sell out probably.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beloved, man. I'm telling you, everybody. I've heard about it for years, but it had PG on the back.
Right.
That's
why you don't see so much blood.
Yeah. But I mean, PG back then, Jaws was fucking PG.
Right. PG's films were damn near R.
Yeah, back then.
Yeah, but weirdly, BBFC in the UK have it as a 15.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
That means you got to be 15 and up, or Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't hate it. I understand why people like it. I understand it's good. It's just not my type of thing. It's not the kind of shit that I watch.
But knowing that those skeletons were real, what do you think about that? I mean,
that's pretty out there. That's pretty out there, especially that late.
Yeah, especially for a Spielberg thing as well. Do you know what I mean?
He may not have known about it. That might have been Hooper's thing. Like, we're gonna...
The actress didn't know. What's her name? Diane? Is it Diane Lane? Am I wrong?
Hold up.
I tell you one thing. She kept it ripe after 3 kids. That's the least believable part of the whole movie. She had 3 kids, young kids. She's the body of a 12-year-old. I mean, how did that happen?
I can't think what her name is now. I mean, it was the guy who plays the dad. That's Craig T. Nelson.
She's mostly a TV actress. I don't remember her name. Me and Alan were talking about it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely not what I said.
Yeah.
I know it ain't now. No, I got to think about it.
Was it? I can't think of it. But Craig T. Nelson, the guy who plays dad, he did loads of TV stuff afterwards.
Yeah. They're both TV actors. I know one thing. Tobe Hooper did not cast it, and he didn't edit it. His guys didn't edit it either.
Yeah.
The score, very Spielberg type score. It just all the production, they get the shots, and then what they do in the editing room makes the movie.
Yeah. There you go. Brian's got it down there. Joe Beth Williams.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said, what did I say? Diane Lane? No. Hell no.
Well, my number 2 we've already talked about, but Godot will stream on it because it is timeless. It's not dated somehow, but it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one. You can get this steelbook for nothing. Nobody's buying it. I don't know why, but you get it for $4, $5.
Right.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good edition from what I can tell. I haven't even opened it yet.
That is a good edition.
It's always available to stream. I've streamed it twice this month on Shudder. For me, and I know Anthony touched on this, where nothing happens. I get it. There is something that happens at the beginning. The beginning with the John Larroquette narration really sets the tone. And then the opening with the macabre artwork as it keeps pulling back and you see more and more of it. Yeah. And then as the radio...
The skinless dude.
Yeah, the radio is describing the grave robbings and stuff like that.
The decimations
around there. So now you know that these people are on the loose and that these people in the van are going to run into them. And so you're just waiting for that and building the tension. And they run on to the hitchhiker. Okay. My first problem with the movie, I'm going to sound like I don't like it. I do like it. Nobody in their fucking right mind would have picked that fucking hitchhiker up.
Not a
the
fucking
blood all
chance.
over his face or whatever the fuck that is, and he's got like
He's got like that weird birthmark.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got a raccoon bag around his fucking neck, and he's just jumping up and down the road. Just nobody would have picked him up at all. Okay, that's problem one. He's acting totally insane from the second he starts talking.
Yeah.
You know, there's no mystery to it at all. This guy's crazy. He is more annoying to me than Franklin, and that's pretty hard to do. Franklin's
Really?
pretty fucking annoying. But the hitchhiker to me is so over the top. He's not an actor. It's not his fault. You know, he's just trying to be crazy and act crazy. But the better way to play crazy is the way the cook plays crazy. See, a crazy person doesn't actually believe they're crazy.
Yeah.
They have rationale for all the crazy shit they do. You know,
Yeah,
and even
he's dead
Leatherface,
straight.
at some point in the movie, Leatherface takes a minute to sit by the window and collect his thoughts.
Yeah.
He's going, wait a
She
minute.
is-
I just smashed somebody's face with a hammer.
Yeah.
Let me think about what I've just done here. And I stuffed a woman back in the freezer. You know, but you don't get that with the hitchhiker. Just crazy, 100 miles an hour the whole time. So that's a little, you know, for me, but crazy or a little too crazy, I guess. But you know, everybody knows the famous sequence when they go to the farmhouse the first time, and he's alone in there, and Leatherface out of nowhere smashes his head with a hammer.
Yeah.
He's gyrating all over the floor. Gets another good whack just for good measure. The door slammed into the abyss.
Shut.
That's terrifying. I don't.
Yeah, that door slamming shut.
I'm just like,
hell yeah.
Where did this guy come from? What the hell's going on? What's on his face?
Yeah.
I thought this was a chainsaw movie. He used a fucking hammer, and it's way worse. I'd rather get the chainsaw than what I just saw there.
He broke out the sledge.
It broke out the sledge, and a chainsaw was actually used in slaughterhouses back in the day. So people don't get the chainsaw reference. Why would he have a chainsaw? Because there's no trees, hardly any trees. The chainsaw was used in the slaughterhouse to go on either side of the spine and cut away the beef. It worked perfectly. You just don't put oil in it. It works perfect. Sees right through it. But it's the way Anthony touched about it, the way it's shot, way ahead of its time. All shot from the ground, very gritty, low angle stuff.
Yeah.
It works perfectly. The cook's a great balance for the fucking hitchhiker, who sucks, in my opinion. And then Marilyn Burns. Marilyn Burns is a standout. She's acting her fucking. Can you imagine doing that all day, running, screaming, screaming? She's wrestling with these grown ass men. Like she's fighting for her life in there. The dinner scene when she finally escapes. The window gag is a little bit softened for me because they already did it once. She jumps out of the second story window. Yeah, she does it again out the first story window. So that took a little way.
To be fair on that, I was listening to Hooper about that. He said the reason he did that is because he was breaking all the rules.
No, I see.
You always see that one. You see that they'll jump through one window. He said, "Well, she's gonna jump through two. She's gonna do whatever it takes to get the hell out of there." You know.
Yeah. And then the first chase sequence with Leatherface, that's iconic. In the dark, him right behind her, her screaming, legit terror, acting her fucking ass off. You believe it 100% that this is happening, and she's really scared out of her mind. She might have been fucking scared out of her mind. Big giant dude and a fucking looking extra weird, with a leather apron behind her, running with a chainsaw. It's nuts. One of the rare Tobe Hooper films with zero nudity whatsoever. Marilyn Burns got the goods, never took them off, never took the shit off. But doesn't need it. Doesn't need it because the shit works. She, after the chase scene, when she runs back into the cook and she's sitting there, she's collecting herself. She's very, very like thankful to be there. She's like kind of resting her eyes a little bit. She opens her eyes and she kind of pans over and she sees the barbecue. She sees the barbecue and it's clearly human.
It's a fucking torso. There's a torso when they go up in the smoker. You
can just see immediately she's just like, no, God, no. And sure enough, right on cue, there's the cook with a fucking burlap sack and rope. It's to tie her up. He's beating her ass. Beating her with a fucking broom and just having a ball doing it. They take her to Grandpa. I mean, we've all seen it. take her to grandpa. And she's screaming. Just imagine the hours and hours and hours of that. The hammer dropping in the fucking bucket right by her head. I'm sure it hit her head a few times.
And those shots,
those
goddamn
metal hammer
on her. Yeah,
it's a real metal hammer. You hear it hitting over and over again,
clanging in that bath.
Yeah, and she's just acting her ass off, and finally she breaks free and she's running for her life. Out the window she goes. Most satisfying part of the whole movie is when the fucking hitchhiker goes right under the tires of the semi. That's my favorite part of the whole fucking movie. Like, thank God. Yes.
Obliterates him. There's nothing left of him.
Destroyed by that semi. The great payoff. Leatherface gets hit in the head by the wrench, cuts his leg. That whole bit. We all know the ending with the saw. But I saw on the Joe Bob Briggs show that he brought this up. The reason they go to the house in the first place because they hear a generator running in the middle of nowhere, Texas.
Yeah, he's looking for fuel.
They hear the generator, so they want the fuel. And you go, well, why is that generator always running? And you really think about it. Joe Briggs put it up. Well, the generator's running for the freezer.
Yeah.
Where all the bodies go. That's the only reason they got a generator.
Right. No electric.
Yeah, no electric, just a generator to keep the meat fresh.
Right.
Before it has time to go to the barbecue place where they don't even sell gas. But it's a lot of fun. It is not story-wise. There's no fucking story. It's just they run into these people and it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And Marilyn Burns, I can't say it enough. You don't hear me white knighting for Scream Queen. She is the Scream Queen. Nobody screams like Marilyn Burns. Right. Nobody. Yeah. I don't believe Jamie Lee Curtis with that monotone voice. I believe Marilyn Burns is terrified in that movie. And that's why it holds up so well, because it's not dated and it's not too campy. There's not a lot of camp to it. It's just
no, there's not.
It's so fucking insane that it's never been done before. It's been duplicated. They tried to duplicate it. It's never worked, but it's an all-time classic. I'll continue watching it till I'm damn dead.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Got to watch it at least, twice a year.
Once or twice a year. Throw it on, and like I said, even with all Franklin's bullshit, can't stand him. Any second he's on screen, he annoys the fuck out of me. If I have any more fun today, I might die. Just he's bitching. Whose idea was to take Franklin's whiny ass on a fuck? You want to be stuck in a van with him for hours on end?
He's pissing in a can. You know what I mean? That's fucking
rolling down the hill and Sally.
Yeah.
He's just the most annoying character. And when he finally gets that chainsaw right in the mouth, you're pleased, but they just obviously didn't have the budget to do the gore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but it's the second most satisfying part, other than the hitchhiker getting splattered by that squash right under the wheels. It's great.
I got a couple from look like Johnny. What's up, fellas?
Hello,
up, man?
Johnny.
Come on, Johnny.
Man?
Hope everyone is doing good on the panel chat. Just popped the cap on the first brew, and here's to Friday the 13th. The only one we get this year, so live up, folks. Much love from Georgia.
It's going to be a good Joe Bob tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, man. If he better not disappoint me like last week. That damn Death by Temptation.
We'll be done well in time for Joe Bob. I got to get out of here in about 10 minutes.
Right.
So everybody that's watching, you'll have plenty of time to go jump over to Joe Bob. But
right.
So what's number one for you, Dirk?
Number one, man, is TCM.
Oh, he's got the badass edition too.
That's the turbine, and that's the case that I remember.
Yeah.
In the video store,
Yeah.
And but I'm not gonna show the whole thing, but that's the steelbook.
Yeah.
Nice.
But man, there's a lot of features on this thing. But man, TCM. I watched TCM and Exorcist the same night when I was probably 6. I shouldn't have been watching that crap, And, man, I think I watched Exorcist first, and I could watch every bit of that movie. But that scene with the hook, that I could not look at the screen.
Yeah.
That Terry McMinn, her performance.
Yeah.
Like just her screaming, and I could still hear her screaming and and all that crap. But her performance, man, I couldn't look at the screen when that was going on. And after after that scene went off, I could watch every other part of that damn movie.
Right
but
under the
that's
rib cage. Right
I
under
think
the rib cage, that just sitting right on your ribs. You
Right.
can feel it just watching it. You know what it feels like.
right. But that's what grabbed me and sucked me into horror.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, just wanted more of that kind of crap. But I mean, there's not. I mean, everybody knows about TCM. There's not a whole lot more you can say. I know Gunnar Hansen, like I said earlier, Marilyn Burns talked him into it. He got paid $800 to play Leatherface, and he had to wear those same clothes
all
for
that
the whole shoot,
covered in sweat,
shoot.
hot as
couldn't-
fuck there,
Yeah,
sweating
and
into those masks.
those 3 different masks because he's
Yeah.
like 3 different personalities.
Yeah.
You notice when they pull up, like he's all anxiety. His
Yeah.
anxiety's through the roof. He's like, "What the hell is going on?" Like he's trying to protect his home.
People are in his
That's
house.
the way I interpret it.
People are in his fucking house, and it's Texas.
Right.
It's free pizza, as Keanu Reeves would say. It's free fucking pizza. People
So
go in your house in Texas, you can shoot them.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the dinner table, he's he got the pretty woman mask on.
Pretty woman one on, yeah.
Yeah, he's
It's time to
taking
eat.
care of it. He's a homemaker now.
And he's dressed up. He's got a
He's
suit
dressed
on
up,
and shit.
yeah. Dinner.
And,
we have dinner tonight. Family
The
dinner.
grandma, he's cooking some shit in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And then the killer mask.
Yeah,
But,
the killer mask is my favorite.
But
it's like I said, timeless, man. We'll be watching this movie the rest of our lives.
and here's something that might throw a lot of people off. Now, out of the whole TCM franchise, most people know the family name to be Sawyer, right? 4 films they use the name Sawyer. 3 films they use the name Slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
In the original TCM, it's Slaughter.
Slaughter.
And Gunnar Hansen and Kim Hinkle confirmed that's the family name is Slaughter. And most people know Sawyer. That blew my mind, man. Like finding out, I was like, what? I found that out, I guess, about a year ago when the game's being released soon.
Yeah.
So, but if you look at the gas station sign, it says W.E. Slaughter, like it's someone's name. You know? W, and it's got the 2 dots, W.E. Slaughter. So I guess that was Grandpa. I don't know. One of the family members.
Yeah.
But man, TCM is, I'm a diehard. It's like, it's what got me into the genre really. And can't say enough about it, man. It's just an awesome.
You do a whole TCM stream. There's so much to talk about with it, and
and there's been so many releases as well over the years.
Yeah.
Right. But John Larroquette at the beginning, he's reading the dialogue. I mean the precursor or whatever.
The counting of it, and they don't bring him back for the second one or Gunnar Hansen back for the second.
You know what he got? You know what he got paid?
What, a couple $100?
A marijuana joint.
No, that sounds about right.
That's what he got paid.
It's Hooper for you.
Oh man. But yeah, that's it, man. I mean, I could go on and on about TCM, but I know we don't have much time. So what's your number 1, Tony?
Most people watching this will know exactly what I've gone for. Obviously, big sci-fi guy, big 80s guy. And this one, the first time I ever watched it, it blew me away. And it is Life Force.
Yep.
Absolutely fucking epic film in every way, shape, or form. Opening scene of this, the music, the score is fucking amazing. I mean, probably the best score to a TOBE Hooper film that there's been. Again, there's at this particular time, there's loads of sci-fi films that sort of got the little vibe and element of the opening of this, the opening 20 minutes of this, but this is done so well. The opening 20, the matte paintings, the way the actors are suspended and it looks like they're floating. It just works with that score over the top. I mean, the suits, the space suits that they wear in this will rival any sci-fi film from sort of this era at all. They are perfect. They don't look like they've been made for a film. They look like they've been made to do a job in space. It's phenomenal. It's the whole. Everyone gets ties up with Mathilda May in this, and I understand why. I mean, that woman is probably one of the most beautiful women you will ever come across. She's unreal. You know what I mean? But spoke very little English, so the bits of dialogue that you do get were probably dubbed in by someone else. I think overall she probably gets around either 12 or 14 minutes screen time through the entire film, and I think for 10 of them she's naked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Full frontal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's an hour long. I mean, in the hour worth of footage of her being naked.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you sort of getting the general gist of what's going on. You sort of getting this thing that you see the sort of giant bat floating around, lifeless.
Space vampires.
Yeah. So you're getting the whole space vampires thing, and that was the original thing from it. That was the original name. You know what I mean? Space Vampires was the book. This was
really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So this is an adaptation of a novel. I can't think of the guy that actually wrote the novel, but it was called Space Vampires, and that was the running title for this for the whole production. And they thought it doesn't really work; it won't really sell, so they used the title Life Force because that's at the end of the day, that's what they're draining from humans when they come down. Again, the mixture of practical effect and visual effect in this works seamlessly. It's brilliant. I mean, the first proper kill that you do see is the guy that's going to do the autopsy on the guy that's been drained, and he bends down to have a look, and he starts to suck the essence from him.
Yeah,
you see the transferal of one to the other. You see him sucking the life force in. It's brilliant. I mean, this came out in 85. And looked fantastic for it. You know what I mean? It looks a little bit dated now if you look back to it, but it still holds up well enough. You know what I mean?
I just rewatched
the film.
Yeah, it's a great movie, man. It's one of my honorable mentions. I got some honorable mentions on this list.
Yeah,
and, it's. I like it a lot, man.
I mean,
it was like space. It's like space vampires. I felt like some Ghostbusters vibes. Too.
Yeah.
With the ending and everything.
Kind of.
Very
British too.
Oh yeah,
very British film.
It's the who's who of British acting at that particular time. I mean, if you see the small bit that Patrick Stewart's in it, I mean, Patrick Stewart's fantastic.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart just shows up.
Yeah,
later in the movie.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? The guy's a legend. You know what I mean? And the bit that he does do is really good. They're pumping him full of like truth serum, and they're trying to get him under hypnosis to sort of try to find out where she is, where her body's being held. It's just everything about it works for me. You know what I mean? It being very, very British, it being of the time, having that sci-fi element to it, that horror element to it. The whole ending of this film is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? The whole when the centre of London's being taken over, and you're not getting vampires now. You're getting like mutated zombies.
They
just
keep
fucking annihilating people,
spreading and coming back. The victims keep coming back over and over again.
And she's pushing the life force up to the big giant penis spaceship looking thing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's constantly going up there.
One thing that only bad thing I say is the way that. But back then, it's kind of like Fright Night in a way with the bat, where it shows it at the end, like
at the
big ass. Yeah, the big ass bat. You know, it looked a little dated, but the rest of it, man, pretty still. I mean, because it's been a long time since I've seen it, probably 20-something years, you know.
Yeah.
Since I saw that movie, but it's awesome. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's probably one of the best films that Canon put out. You know what I mean? In the catalogue, everything about it was big budget. I mean, back in '85, I mean, there's $25 million to make this film.
Damn,
you know what I mean?
Big budget back then.
That might be his biggest, huh?
Possibly. I mean, I think that equates.
I mean, I can tell, like you were saying about the suits and the way everything looked almost like Kubrick's shit or something. I was like, what the hell is going on here? You know,
they've obviously had a big special effects team work on this, because if you look at a lot of sections, the sort of the overpainted scenery, the models. I mean, the amount of models that's used in this is untrue. Matte paintings, which some of them are beautiful, especially the spaceship ones early on. They're phenomenally looking. But to me, it holds up really well, and it's a really, really enjoyable film. And like I said, the music helps it all the way through. The music is brilliant. And this release of it that Arrow put out, I mean, it is really good. I mean, there's 2 cuts on this as well. You've got the international cut and the US cut. The international cut really is the one you want. That's the unedited version. And it's
I'm gonna have to get it for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you just look at the back of that, I mean, how much, you know what I mean? Special features on that. It's absolutely loaded. And apparently there was loads edited out of this as well, actually. I mean, he just kept filming and filming and filming and filming. And then when it went through to the production stage and the editing stage, loads of it got chopped due to time, probably.
That's got reverse art, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that's the original.
Yeah.
And then the reverse.
I'm gonna read some of these comments. I like that one. I like the reverse better though that you got.
Yeah, the reverse is cool.
Yeah. Okay. Brian Goes Blue. I got the VHS with the same cover, Dirt. Awesome, man. Because if I could get that, man, that's what I remember seeing in the video store when that movie. I don't know. It was crazy back then. I could just rent any movie I wanted when I was with my mom.
Yeah, when you're a kid,
I was like 5, 6 years old.
You go in the video store in a small town. You got money. You're the king of the video store. Whatever you want.
She didn't constrict me from watching stuff either. Let's see. Hop on Discord with us, Dirt, for Joe Bob, brother. It would be great to have you on there, man. All right, let me see what's going on, man, and I could possibly do that. Anthony, give us the pleasure and tell us what does your daddy do? What does your daddy do? Who is your daddy?
Who's your daddy and what does he do? It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
All right. Please give Life Force a ton of love. Yep. Well, my mate knows good shit when he sees nudity for the entire duration of the film.
Yeah, man.
There it is. I knew Life Force was a banger for you, mate. All right.
Yeah.
Brad, please tell me Eaten Alive was in your top 5. I don't think I could continue with life if that didn't completely change your life for the absolute better.
Well, on that note, my number 1
live.
This is one of my all-time. I don't know what, I don't know how I didn't see this. Look at that cover. It's just right up my alley. Like I told Johnny, I'll say it again. I don't give a fuck what happens. This movie's absolutely retarded, and I absolutely love it. That's the best way to describe it. This movie's about Judd. It's not about the cast. Most horror movies, you want to root for the victims, and they're all terrible. They're all not good. Nothing's good about it. The couple that shows up, Dirk mentioned it.
Yeah.
What the hell is that couple? What's going on with that couple? She's wearing a wig for no reason. Yeah. Did they just rob a bank? I don't know what's going on, but they got some serious issues. He's just at one point, the husband is just kind of reaching at her like this when her back's turned, like he's going to do something. She turns and stops him. I don't know what's going on with that. But this movie's about Judd, the killer. Judd is the star of the movie. You're with him. You follow him around. It barely leaves him. Most of the movie, you're with Judd. He is so fucking crazy, unhinged, and depraved. He actually scares himself at times in the movie. He loses a victim once in the movie as chasing her through the woods, and he's just screaming "where" over and over again. He's so fucking out of it.
That's that damn pickle brain, man. That wet brain.
Stomping the scythe. He's constantly fighting with the gator or the crocodile over. He gets his scythe stuck in a victim's neck, and the crocodiles, they're having a tug and war back and forth. He's trying to get his scythe back out of the guy's neck, and the crocodile keeps trying to pull him under. It is so much fun. I know it's not the world's greatest movie. The story doesn't make a lot of sense. You get no backstory. You don't get any backstory for Leatherface either. Nobody seems to mind.
Right.
But Judd, people want to know more about Judd.
Until
what the hell happened here? How did you get here? He's just the leg thing comes out of nowhere. Again, he's trying to rape a woman while screaming whore. He falls down the stairs. They knock themselves both out. He finally kills her, feeds her to the crocodile. Everybody that shows up is just cannon fodder to be fed to the crocodile. including Robert Englund's character, who's gets it in the best way. The crocodile can't wait for him to go in the water.
Yeah,
just if he finally goes in the water, obviously, but I don't know. It's just everything about it. It's so ridiculous. I had so much fun with it. I'm so sorry that I missed it because I would have loved this as a kid. This is right up my alley. This is my kind of movie. Marilyn Burns is in it. She spends most of the movie tied to a bed, unfortunately.
Right.
But every other female cast member, other than the little girl and the old hag, they all decide to take their clothes off. All of them in this disgusting hotel. They all have to get naked immediately the second they get behind closed doors. Judd's a pervert, just starts walking in on people. I mean, the stuff he says to himself. He's talking to himself, and he's just like, ain't got no call. Just everything he said. You can't even duplicate him. He's so fucking out there. He's talking about the croc the whole time. He's by himself. He's talking about the crocodile.
Yeah.
Nobody's there, Judd. We get it. You really like that crocodile, but he's talking. He's just the end of the movie. You can see what's coming. The crocodile is going to get Judd. Spoiler alert. Yeah. And boy does he. And the end of the movie is Judd's floating fucking wooden leg in the crocodile pit. And I'm just at home watching this after Johnny recommended it, and I'm just if I had a heart or a soul, a single tear would have rolled down my cheek when it ended. It's everything I wanted, everything I could hope for. This is the Bret Hart of Tobe Hooper movies, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And if you do not own this release, you don't have it in your collection, you should be ashamed of yourself. It's loaded with fucking special features. It's the 2-disc edition. It's a blast. It looks like $1 million, and it was shot very cheaply. It's a lot of fun. It's clearly a set. Like Anthony said, there's no bones about it. Yeah. But even that doesn't ruin the movie.
No.
The crazy blues and the bright reds.
I mean, it looks like Louisiana or Texas to me.
Yeah, it's just so fucking – it's just nuts. The crocodile is various sizes also. Yeah. Like when he attacks the dog,
and that's crazy. We talked about that earlier.
He attacks the dog. He seems a little small. Right. And then he bursts through the railing and grabs a guy by the head, and he's huge again. It's ridiculous. It's just fun, and I can't say enough good things about it. Character Judd, played by Neville Brand. This is the first I heard about his alcoholism, but it makes so much sense.
Yeah,
now.
It does.
Him running around with that scythe, going nuts, and seemingly just totally disturbed. And he can't even talk to normal people, have normal conversations. Like, he basically admits that he knows this prostitute that he sees. Their father comes looking, and then 30 seconds later, I've said all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You can see in his brain, he's like, "Shut up, Judd.
Yeah,
you just killed that woman and fed her to your fucking crocodile. Stop talking about it." So, that's a high recommendation for me.
Hell yeah!
I'd put it over The Beast in Heat. Okay, so that should let you know what I think.
That's big talk right there.
I keep watching it. I'm going to watch all these bonus features, which I almost never do that. If there's a book with this, I glance at it.
Yeah.
I want to know more. I want to know a lot more, but
you want the deep dives.
Like I said, people don't care. People don't know the backstory of Leatherface, but they want to know the backstory of Judd. So that should let you know everything about this fucking character. This is classic Hooper for me. Gritty, grimy, insanity, and depravity. This is the Hooper that I like. So that's my number one with a bullet.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man, I can completely understand why. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is class. It's like I said, there's the one bit that stands out for me is where Buck's in the bar and the shooting pool.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got his lady friend with him.
Yeah.
But he's got a mate with him as well, who's an absolute fucking lunatic for like no real reason. It starts hassling the guy at the bar.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fight.
No reason.
Wants to start to get in a fight, and I just
the dude's like 2 foot taller than him.
Yeah, he's fucking massive. You know what I mean? It's like I said before. It's not story driven. It's just like events. Like
people
that's
keep
just
showing up. They keep
Yeah.
showing up at the hotel and going over the rail right into the crocodile pit. One way or another, you're going to end up in there. There's going to be a problem between you and Judd.
Yeah.
The
With the old ass country
decides,
music playing, you know.
The husband decides after his daughter's dog is killed that he is going to kill the crocodile. Okay. Judd's not having that at all. Clearly. That's the guy where the crocodile comes through the railing and grabs him.
Yeah.
But another thing I didn't mention, Judd has a pet monkey.
He does.
Dies pretty early on in this. You almost feel bad for Judd. Your monkey died. Your whore that you got tied up for later is making all kinds of racket.
Yeah.
You know, you're at the point where that crocodile's got to be overfed. I mean, how many more bodies can you throw in there? And you know, he's trying to trick a little girl into coming out. He's like, God, Judd got a trick for it. Got a treat for you. Look what Judd brought. And he's got the scythe behind his back. He's literally gonna hack a little girl up with a scythe.
Johnny says, Judd's cheese done slid completely off his cracker.
Yeah. It's the best way to put it.
I know you gotta go, right?
Yeah, I gotta run out of here, literally.
Okay. But I got a Hooper quote on horror. It said, you've got to send a physical sensation through and not let them off the hook. I like to make it faster and faster and faster and pumping and banging until I get into you.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great pickup line as well.
Best way to go with it. I mean, the little girl finally gets out from underneath the house. She's climbed to the top of the cage. Judd's shaking the cage to try to get her to fall into the crocodile. But you just don't see shit like that anymore.
Right.
I have to feed this little girl to my crocodile. I got news for you. It's happening, lady. Get used to it.
I mean, just quick honorable mention wise, very, very much like Eaten Alive. The way it comes across where it's more event than story driven. It's The Dirk. Have you ever seen The Dirk?
I haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen The Dark. I wanted to, but I saw that he was replaced and not credited.
Yeah,
so I was like, well,
I don't know how much of the actual film he shot before he probably went, enough's enough with this. I'm fucking doing one. You know what I mean? And then they brought somebody else in. But obviously he started that film, and you can sort of see that element. You can see his way of shooting films is in there.
So the other director just played off of his shit already.
Yeah, and then it just goes to the fucking wall at the end. You know what I mean?
Wow. So I might check that one out.
You can get it on YouTube. There's a very, very good quality version of it on YouTube. Stream it in on here. Watch it. It's worth a watch. A very, very, very much like Eaten Alive. It's more event kind of filming than one true storyline. And it's a little bit weird. It's a 70s film again, or is it might be 1980? But worth a watch. Like a mutant alien just fucking killing people.
It's dark. Oh, that's MVD Rewind release.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I
heard about it.
Definitely with a pickup.
But he did win an award.
I think Dirk froze.
Yeah.
Dirk, can you hear us?
Dirk's gone.
Good God. Right, what a time to freeze.
Yeah. Let's see what.
Okay.
Back, Dirk.
Oh, he's there. There we go.
Yeah, he won the Averez Fantastic Film Festival 1976 for TCM, and he got a Lifetime Achievement Award in 2014. But yeah, man, Hooper, he deserves more recognition.
Very underrated. He got no recognition. I think that Poltergeist thing is what did it, where he got cucked by Steven Spielberg, and Steven Spielberg doesn't. It's not him, pushing that. It's everybody else pushing that.
Yeah. Steven
Spielberg. You ask him today. Tobe Hooper did it. It's Tobe Hooper's movie. He directed it. I was there. I'm a producer. It's my production company. Of course, he's a friend of mine. Fuck, I know him. I'm gonna, but it wasn't co-directed. He made the decisions, and it's just the way it went. So,
he's done a ton of stuff, though, man. I mean, he's done he was on Carpenter's Body Bags, The
Body
Eye.
Bags, yeah.
Yeah, he did The Eye. That one on there. He did an episode on Tales from the Crypt.
He did.
I can't
Several
remember the name.
episodes on Tales from the Crypt, from what I understand.
Yeah,
Did
he did an episode for House of Horrors as well, I think.
Yeah, Mick Garris and stuff.
Yeah.
But I got a couple comments.
Guys, I hate to cut it short, man, but I got to run. I'm gonna have to jump off here. It's been a lot of fun. I love talking movies. Hooper. After seeing all these, I couldn't wait to do this, but I really got to run out of here. So I'll catch you guys later on tonight.
All right, bro.
Take care, man.
Take it easy.
Speak to you later, dude.
I watched The Dark a couple weeks ago. Pretty wild movie. It's got an MVD rewind.
Awesome. Yeah, I know you guys have got it out there. We haven't got a physical release of it at all in the UK. And it's like I said, it's a decent film. It's hard to get your head around in places because again, it's not a full true story. It's more like events happening at a particular time. There's main characters in it, but very, very much like Eaten Alive. You don't get to know much about those characters. It's just event driven. But
I'm good with that. I watch a lot of Argento. That seems like Argento does that same kind of thing. Like a lot of visuals. A lot of times his shit don't make sense completely. There's a lot of holes in his plot, you know. I mean, I know they're completely different styles, but I mean, I was just saying it as far as what you're saying, just a bunch of events. Yeah. Yeah.
And once you get your head round that it's an alien, and it's like a mutant alien, and it's like a big humanoid looking thing, and it's shooting fucking laser beams out of its eyes to kill people.
Damn.
Once you got your head round that, then you probably will enjoy it. But again, there's no backstory. A typical Hooper, this is where the Hooper thing comes in. Typical Hooper style. There is no reason why that alien's on Earth. There's no backstory to it. It doesn't dress it out. It's just there. It just is. And there's this thing going around killing people, and it tells you right from the beginning of the film, pretty much like Texas Chainsaw does, when it tells you these bodies are being exhumed and they're going missing and stuff like that. It's just telling you there's a killer on the loose, and they don't know what's happening. They don't know who it is, or you know what I mean. And it goes from there and it breaks it down, and it's sort of this mutated alien. I mean, have you ever seen a film called Split Second with Rutger Hauer?
Okay.
Have you seen that?
I want to say I have. I've seen a lot of Rutger Hauer.
Yeah, you probably will have done. Like a bit of a sort of it's based in the centre of London. The flood defences have gone. Most of London's underwater now. But if you watch The Dark, you'll also see elements in this film, like similar kind of traits. I
love Rutger Hauer stuff, man.
Yeah.
All his stuff across the board. I got a couple more comments. The Dark. I know what I'm watching this weekend. Dang, got this man hyped up.
You know me, Johnny. You know the whole sci-fi thing, mate. For me, it's a big thing of what I'm into.
Right. It's due to people who read tabloid print from uneducated media outlets, and it immediately turns it into belief.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got more than one bridge to sell to those simple-minded turds. Yeah, man. It's been an awesome stream, man.
It's been good, man. I've enjoyed it.
And like I said, I'm pretty new to this shit. It's like I know it's a little rough, but we're getting there.
You'll get used to it, mate. You'll find a rhythm that you're comfortable with, and once you find that rhythm, mate, just stick with it. You know what I mean?
I enjoy talking about this stuff, so that's the main thing. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to, make money. I got a job,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and it doesn't need to look professional. You know what I mean? It doesn't need to look like you're sat in a fucking studio or anything like that. Doesn't matter. You know what I mean? As long as you engage and you get involved, that's it. You know what I mean? That's the fun of it. You know what I mean? That's what I've found. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for about me and Johnny sort of found each other at the same time. We sort of set our channels up at the virtual same time. So we've been at it about 2 years.
Okay.
And it took me a while to find the rhythm and the groove to get into, to where I felt comfortable doing what I was doing. And I felt comfortable that the people was watching wanted to watch what I was doing. Just have a go at it, mate. You know what I mean? If it doesn't work, try something different. If it does work, stick with it. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
but just do what you feel comfortable with, not what other people expect.
Right. Yeah. Never that. Like, I'm always gonna say exactly what I think about something. So
Yeah,
another honorable mention is Toolbox Murders,
yeah. The
2004.
remake. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people shit on that, man, but I
I've,
enjoyed it. I mean,
I've
it's
never
not
I've never actually seen it. I've never
okay.
seen the remake.
It's not perfect,
Mm.
but I will say this: Sherry Moon zombies in the very beginning of the movie, which kind of tripped me out.
Yeah.
But no, it's actually kind of underrated. I mean, it's not like perfect. It's not on these like the films we've been talking about. It's not on that level.
Yeah.
But it's definitely better than the Gin. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
That is horror, man. Don't watch it. Dude, I mean, I ain't gonna say that. You might get something better out of than I do, but
Right.
the Gin is pretty bad, you know. But yeah, man, it's been an awesome time. I know you're probably ready to go to sleep, huh?
Yeah, it's nearly 1:30.
Okay.
I've no work in the morning, so I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm done for the weekend now.
Yeah.
But no, mate, it's what you'll tend to find is I'll tend to stay up late to do these anyway.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be the people that I have found doing this, everyone's in the US. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I know a couple of guys from the UK, but I don't do very much with them. So if you ever see me live streaming, or if you ever see me having guests on my channel or anything like that, everybody tends to be from the US. So
Yeah.
for me, staying up till this time, it really doesn't make any difference. You know what I mean? It's so
And my schedule is kind of like pretty flexible. So a lot of times, you know, I work for myself. So
yeah,
a lot of times I can, I'll get off real early. So maybe we could set something up sometime,
definitely.
where it's better for you,
Yeah. I mean, definitely, mate. I mean, again, like I say, I don't mind stopping up late like this. I think
Right.
we did. I think the last stream that we all did might have been the Schwarzenegger stream. I think I only started that at like 1 a.m. my time. You know what I mean? Just to accommodate everybody that was in the US. Obviously,
Right.
with the 2 different time zones that everyone was in there. So, and like I say, I'm 5 hours in front of you.
Right.
So
I've got into like in the past, I'd say past 2 years, I've gotten more heavily into the Euro cult stuff, like
yeah.
the Euro like Jalo and the Jolly and stuff. Really got into that pretty hard. I don't know if you like the Jalo or
No, it's not. It's
not too much.
not really my thing. My thing, down the horror side, I am very
Slashers and
yeah, but I'm very, I like what I like, and that's about it. I'm very specific about what I watch horror wise.
right.
I could talk. I mean, when we throw stuff like this up, I could talk about this kind of stuff all day long.
I mean, I like Life Force. There's some parts in it that I felt like kind of drug out a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know. Is it? Do you see them? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or
I mean,
no?
if you watch the international cut, obviously the US cut may have had some of that cut out of it.
Okay.
The international cut's about, I
I
wanted
haven't
to
seen
say it's about nearly 20 minutes longer. The international cut,
Okay.
it's a lot longer than the US cut.
Is it better?
Um,
I mean, does that make it better though?
it probably adds a little bit more, you know what I mean?
Okay, because there's some things I was confused about when
Yeah,
watching it.
it probably does. It probably does add more. But when it comes to horror, I've got an obsession with what was the UK ban list. So I've got loads of that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, I showed you Death Trap before.
Yeah.
That's on an old Vipcore Scream Time releasing DVD.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I've got loads of those because I still collect that when I can find it, because that is majority of the ban list is on that label. So that kind of horror I will collect because there's some kind of history behind it. I like collecting that. I like 80s slasher type of stuff. But if you look at my shelves here behind me, you'll mainly find loads of 80s sci-fi, and loads of 80s sword and sorcery. I mean, sword and sorcery stuff is where I'm at. That's
Well, I mean, I grew up like, I mean, I don't know how old you are. I'm guessing we're pretty close in age, though.
45. I'm 45 this time, man.
Yeah, I'll be 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 44 right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, I grew up with like Beastmaster and all that. You know.
Yeah, I mean that kind of stuff I just can't get enough of. You know what I mean? I've got loads of videos on this channel about that kind of stuff. The streams about it. If you go to my social media stuff, you'll see loads of that kind of stuff. That
Sci-fi, fantasy, and horror kind of all go hand in hand, though. It seemed like, you know.
Yeah, and then when you start getting sort of the sci-fi horror thing rolled in, then I'm in both feet.
I'm all about it. Terminator, Terminator. You know,
love it. Yeah, it's great. I mean, Galaxy of Terror recently got an 88 film release, which is brilliant. The sort of schlocky creature feature stuff I love as well. So stuff like Humanoids from the Deep and films like that.
Yeah,
I love all that kind of stuff.
Hell yeah.
So the sort of horror stuff, mainstream and a little bit off, I'm into. Some titles that you guys are probably collecting, I would never go anywhere near. It's just not my cup of tea.
Right.
But majority, I mean, anything 80s based, then I'm generally there. You know what I mean? It's.
I've got into a lot of 70s horror here lately. You know.
Yeah.
I like the 80s too. 70s, 80s. I mean, I can't really pick which one I like better. You know, especially the late 70s.
Yeah, it's the 70s stuff is normally sort of like really gritty and grimy, dirty looking kind of stuff. It's a lot of that stuff that's on the DPP ban list in the UK. A lot of that stuff was 70s films. So there was 70s films that was getting home video releases in the UK before there was certification put on. So anyone could rent that film. There was no limit on who could rent the film, and that's where the problem started. So I would say 40% of what's on that list were 70s films.
Was Chucky on one of those lists?
No.
Child's Play, I mean?
No. Child's Play is an odd one.
I thought the first one was, but I didn't know.
Child's Play is an odd one. What happened with Child's Play was there was a young boy in the UK, I think it was Liverpool area, that was brutally murdered by two young teenagers. They abducted him from his mother in a shopping centre and took him to a railway line and threw him on a railway line and watched the train run over him.
Damn.
And the little boy's name was James Bulger. And all the way through the trial, while these two guys was on trial, they blamed that both of these, well, they were minors at the time, both of these minors had watched the film Child's Play, and it was blown up all out of proportion. So the UK press had a field day saying that the film Child's Play was the sole motivation why these two young men had thrown this young boy on the railway lines, on the train tracks, and it's nothing to do with that at all.
Shit, that's what I'm like. Where do you connect that? You know, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it was just the UK media at the time just grasping at straws, just trying to look for something, and it had nothing to do with the film. You know what I mean? It turned out that these two young men, when psychiatrists looked at them, were just fucking mental. You know what I mean? It was, one was leading the other one on, and both boys got sentenced. They both got imprisoned. One boy is no longer with us. I think he took his own life, and the other one.
Like, while they were censoring like films over there, banning films and all that, over here, Tipper Gore, you know, she's putting explicit lyrics, on records and albums, music, and trying to ban music, but really, it just made it sell more. You know?
Yeah. We had the same issue over here. I mean, the whole reason we had this list was from a lady called Mary Whitehouse.
Yeah,
and she was just a do-gooder. She wasn't anything in particular. She wasn't a politician. She wasn't anybody in the know. She didn't know anything about film. She'd never watched it or claimed to never watched any of these films, but just fought for the government to actually do something about this stuff was being released without certification. And basically, she put together with a group of other people what they thought was a list of films that shouldn't be available to watch in the UK. And if you watch the documentaries on it, it was crazy.
I've watched a couple. On the Arrow streaming site.
Yeah,
I watched a couple of those. Oh, well, one of those. So that's where I learned a little bit. You know, I know you know probably way more than I do, but let me get to a couple of these comments. Johnny is chiming in. Okay, let's see. I'll catch the replay, fellas. Awesome stream, even though I got home late. Much love and keep them coming.
Take care, Johnny.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. There's always another stream, brother.
Always.
Anthony's always a soldier with the time difference with us. The man knows how to make a sacrifice for the fun. Cheers, mate. Yeah, man. That's what I was saying. Like, we got to repay the favor one of these days, you know. There's an idea for a stream, fellas. Emerged from late 70s to early 80s horror films that had a significant impact on your style of collecting and seeking films.
Yeah, definitely.
Hell yeah. See, definitely. I'm pretty new to collecting. Like, I did collect the VHS way back. I got rid of that whole shit when DVD come out. I sold all my stuff like a dumbass. And I started getting DVDs every Tuesday because they were cheaper on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Here anyway. And because if you went on Wednesday, the price, or Thursday, you know, a couple of days or whatever, the price would jump up like $5. Right. And I was like, what the hell? So I make sure, and I collected DVDs for a while. I kind of got out of it. And now the Blu-rays and 4Ks, and I've just been back into this since November, you know. So like trying to learn all these boutique labels and everything, but as far as movies go, I know movies, you know. And the nostalgia of everything it's like a drug, man. It
massively.
Really is. Yeah,
massively.
I mean, the endorphins kick in as soon as I'm watching something from my childhood. It's like, can't describe it. You know, it's. I
mean, one of the other big collecting things for me is 80s cartoons. Yeah. I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff, and I've tons of it behind me. I mean, there's probably 70 or 80 different cartoons in box sets and complete box sets and that. And really, that's where, I mean, I've always collected film from, like I said, from VHS, DVD, but the sole main collecting for me originally was 80s cartoons. And it sort of went from that for me into 80s movies. So I was collecting more 80s movies on DVD. And obviously when Blu-ray came round, I was rebuying everything again on Blu-ray. I've not
massive
really bothered.
Jump in quality.
Huge.
It's the same as from VHS to DVD.
Yeah.
The jump from that to Blu-ray. I don't see the big difference.
In 4K?
Right. On certain films like The Shining, which is my favorite film of all time, I do see a big difference. They did that movie like, it's awesome. It's like watching the film for the first time again.
Good time.
Yeah. But not, I can't say that about every 4K I watch. I'm like, because I see some Blu-rays that look better than the 4K.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I've not really jumped in on the whole. I've got a 4K setup. I've got a decent 4K setup. But I've not jumped in as yet, really. I've got the odd titles like Johnny sent me what did Johnny sent me not long back? Johnny sent me Alligator, I think Johnny sent me. And then Brad sent me Sword and the Sorcerer. And then Alan sent me Halloween 3. Because obviously I couldn't get those over here. So it made sense to get them to send me the 4Ks. Then the only really other stuff I've got in 4K. Again, Johnny sent me the Vinegar Syndrome version of Beastmaster. He sent me that over. That looks really good. And I'm a big fan of Ready Player One, and I've got that in 4K.
I bet that
looks fucking amazing.
Yeah. I bet it does.
It looks really, really good. So the whole 4K thing for me is not a big thing. You see, I still don't mind buying DVD. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm still buying shit like this. You know what
I
I mean?
bought one the other day. I don't know if you're a David Lynch fan or not, but
yeah, massively.
Okay. I bought a Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
From Kino, and then I found out there's a Blu-ray after, but I didn't care. I was doing the Kino sale.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the DVD's fine. I mean, I'll probably end up getting a Blu-ray of that though, because that's a badass. That's a movie I hadn't seen of Lynch. You know.
Yeah.
And that's just a batshit insane movie with Nicolas Cage. It's a little more straightforward though. It's not like his other films. You know.
Yeah.
Not like where you gotta. I don't know. There's some parts that are still thrown off though.
Yeah, for being the big 80s sci-fi nerd, the whole David Lynch thing is Dune for me. I mean, Dune's fantastic.
Yeah, I haven't even watched the new one.
Yeah, I've no interest in it. I've right. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel the same way, but people are shitting all over David Lynch's Dune, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah,
no.
Exactly. And I believe the new one's more like the novel, which I get. You know what I mean? I get that. You know what I mean? It's exactly the same as Total Recall. If you ever see Total Recall, if you watch the new version of Total Recall, that's based off the novel. It's completely different. You know what I mean? So I get it.
It takes me out of it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I sort of get it, but these films come out, people watch them, they ask, "What do I think?" No, I'm not really interested. I've got the version of the film I want to watch. You know what I mean? I don't have to go and watch this. You know what I mean? It's
the shiny new glossy, 2020 or whatever special effects. I mean, I like practical more anyway.
Yeah, so. Definitely. You know what I mean? If you're a big fan of The Shining,
yeah, that's my number one all time.
I don't know if you've ever seen me show this one before.
Damn. That's nice. That's real nice.
Sad loading slip box.
Shit, yeah. Hell yeah.
All the art cards and that.
Damn. Okay. Oh yeah. There's so much to that damn movie, man.
Oh yeah.
It's so many. I can look at that movie and see. I could come up with 4 different interpretations.
Yeah. Possible, isn't it? Yeah.
Is it a ghost movie? Is it a man that's crazy? Is the kid crazy? Is the mom crazy? Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that was and that looks really good as well. It's a decent transfer bit.
That's awesome.
That's a hit. That's a HMV release, that one in the UK.
Damn. What was that go for?
When these are on sale, you can get 2 for £15. Believe it or not.
Okay.
So what's that for you? About 2 for $22, about, give or take.
Yeah, because a pound is
about $1.30. Yeah, $1.30 to $1.38. It's been fluctuating around the last few weeks.
Yeah. I hit up the Arrow sale and I still haven't got my damn.
Yeah,
from the UK.
Neither's Brad. I think Brad's got half of his, and the other half still stuck over here somewhere.
Every time I check, it just says processing. You know, so it's kind of aggravating a little bit.
I know that certain areas in the UK had a problem with postal because the post had been on strike. So maybe that might have been an issue. I know I've just sent some stuff out to Johnny, tracked, and as I've been tracking it, as it's left the UK, once it's hit the US soil now, I've lost tracking of it. I've no idea where it is. Tracking's not telling me anything anymore. So I don't.
I can't chat with the UK either. It won't. Like they don't have the live chat for us.
Right.
I don't know if it works. Over there.
I don't know. I don't know if there is live chat over here or not.
Like on the Arrow site.
The Arrow site.
Yeah. But I sent them an email and they just told me to check the site that they left me a message, and I was like,
Right.
"Where's the message?" Oh, it's still processing. Oh, okay, that's the message.
Right. Yeah, it's maybe because I'm not logged in. It's not showing anything.
Johnny, he says, Anthony, can you grab me a copy of that Shining release? You know, I'll give it a good home.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Man, I would be real interested in that. You know.
Yeah, the best time for those is when they come on for £2 for £15. There's about in that range at the moment. There's about 100, just short of 180 titles, I think.
I'm trying to get every Kubrick film. That's my favorite director as well.
Well,
like I just bought Fear and Desire,
yeah,
his first film from 56 or 53. Okay. I just watched that. It's pretty good. I mean, I like all his stuff. I like Clockwork Orange is like right there.
Well, I was just going to say Clockwork Orange is available in this line as well as, so you could get Clockwork Orange and The Shining for £15.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'd do that, man. And if you needed something, just let me know. I'd throw it your way. You know?
Yeah, man. I'm more than happy to do that. Title sharing is what I like to do. I do it with all these guys on here. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But like I said, I'll hit you both up when the sale comes on.
Cool.
And I'll pick them up for two for 15.
And let me know. Let me know if you need something. You know.
Yeah.
Or Johnny, let either one of us know. I know you're already doing that with Johnny, but I was just saying, you know.
There's always stuff I need, mate. There's always stuff I need. Like Johnny sent me all the Kino titles that I couldn't get over here.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. Sent me a big stack of Kino titles.
Yeah.
So others got Conquest and Space Raiders as well. So
I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass for not getting that Spaceballs. I should have got that. They had it in 4K too.
That is the 4K one.
That is the 4K. Okay. Yeah. And for that price, you can't beat that.
Yeah. No. What was it, like $11 or something like that? It was nothing.
Yeah.
That was a big one for me on what Kino put out. That was limited to 2,000. That was like $9. I couldn't believe that wasn't out of print. 2,000 copies of it, and then they went down to $9. That's crazy.
I think I remember that movie, man.
Yeah, it's a Roger Corman film.
Space Raiders. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
Think. I'm mixing it up with something else. What was that?
Battle Beyond the Stars.
I'm mixing it up with. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it could be.
Also, no, the Time Bandits.
Time Bandits.
For some crazy reason, I mixed those two up for some reason.
Yeah.
That was a big movie when I was a kid.
Time Bandits.
Yeah. It showed all the time on HBO.
Yeah, I love it. I've got the Arrow put a release out of it. I've got that Arrow release. It looks brilliant.
Oh yeah.
But no, man. If you go onto HMV's website, I'll drop you a link to it. And it's called the Premium Collection. It's like HMV's own boutique side of Blu-rays that they do themselves. If you have a look on there, you'll be able to see all the titles that's available currently. Whatever you want out of them, mate, give me a shout, and I'll send them over when they're on sale.
Okay, awesome, man. Yeah, and just let me know if there's something you need me to do.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I mean, I'm trying to look what other horror stuff's on there. This
is probably my favorite release this year, though. Like for real. This I know you're not as big a fan.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you earlier, I mean, it got me into the horror genre. Like that hook scene just it just grabbed the shit out.
It's brutal.
Yeah. You don't see nothing. You don't see no penetration.
No.
It's effective.
No, it's really good. I mean, anything like that, really. You know what I mean? Where it visually gets you thinking about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's great.
I was going to share one more thing about that I didn't mention earlier. I should have.
Yeah.
Hooper did a Billy Idol video.
He did.
Dancing with Myself.
Dancing with Myself. Yeah. It's not one of Billy Idol's best songs, but it's.
Yeah.
it's when Billy Idol decided to go from mainstream punk to pop punk because there was more money in it.
Right. Yeah. I was a huge Billy Idol fan back in the day. You know, more to the harder stuff though.
Yeah, his early stuff. Yeah.
And Ed Neal. This is the other thing that I forgot to share. All kind of state troopers and cops kept coming up to Ed Neal, shaking his hand because they said that him being the hitchhiker lowered crime 18%. People stopped picking up hitchhikers because of that movie. That's the one thing they got from Texas Chainsaw. Don't pick up a damn hitchhiker. So when Brad was saying that, I was like, well, actually, people did pick up hitchhikers like a lot back then, you know. Not so much now, but I guess what he meant was the way he looked and everything too, though.
Yeah.
So, well, man, I guess we'll get off here. I know you're probably ready to lay it down, and
that's the awesome. One. That's the one.
Okay.
It's been good, mate. It's been really good. It's I always enjoy doing this kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's what else would I be doing on a Friday night? There's not much to do anymore. You know what I mean? Doing this kind of stuff, it's just brilliant. Especially talking to you guys as well as, you know what I mean? It's a good social thing. Yeah. There's a good group of people into this sort of thing on YouTube at the moment. It's a good sort of family-based kind of vibe that you get from it. I've not had any negativity from it whatsoever. You know what I mean? I've only had positive vibes coming from it. So it's good. Yeah. It's enjoyable, mate.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. No doubt about it. I appreciate you being here, man, coming on with me. And
you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome, mate. And like I said, I'll get some more ideas together, and we'll get some more streams going, mate. And you'll be able to drop on one of my streams.
Yeah, for sure. And we could do a space stream, or I don't know if you've done one recently, or I think you have, huh? No.
The last couple of streams I put together, I did the Arnold Schwarzenegger one. That was one of mine. I think that's the only one I've hosted where there's been more than myself on streaming. I think me and Johnny have done a couple of bits off my channel. Another lad called Chris Seaver, who's an 80s enthusiast. He's an American guy as well. I've done some stuff with him. But that's been about it, mate. I've not really done much sort of stuff like this. I've been involved with other people's streams where we've chatted about stuff. But if you wanted to do sort of 80s sort of horror sci-fi kind of subgenre thing, that I've been more than willing to do something like that, mate, because I'm well into that kind of stuff.
Cool. We can definitely do it on your channel. You know?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, awesome, man. I appreciate it, man. It's been awesome.
You're more than welcome.
Take care, man.
Cheers, Dirk. Take care, man. See you later.
All righty. All right, man.
There we go, mate. Solid. It's